And welcome to the Yokohama Arena for game number 3 of the NISSAY B.LEAGUE Finals 2020-2021. The fans of these respective squads are here in full force, and why not? This is the final game for both these teams. Winner take all. Game number 3 is at stake here. Whoever wins here takes home the championship for this season. Will it be Utsunomiya Brex? Will it be the Chiba Jets taking home that trophy? We will find out in just a few minutes. We're just under a few minutes before tip-off. There it is. Utsunomiya Brex up against the Chiba Jets. This is the game everybody has been waiting for. Anthony Suntay, together with Enzo Flojo and Thirdy Ravena, will be joining us in just a little bit. Enzo, what are your thoughts for the all-important winner-take-all game number 3?
Well, it's going to be a very exciting game. Sana, Anthony, no, mas close tong game na to kaysa sa games 1 and 2 kasi even if these are two of the best teams in the B-League, nakita natin in game 1, it was dominated by the Chiba Jets, who many considered underdogs entering this final series. Game 2, complete opposite. It was the Utsunomiya Brex dominating game 2 and forcing this game 3. So for me as a fan, I want to see a much tighter, much closer game here in the deciding match for the championship. And napag-usapan na natin to the first 2 games that both these teams have great motivating factors, no? For the Chiba Jets, this is their 3rd time in the finals. They haven't won yet. The first 2 times they lost to Toyota Alvark. Now, playing with a chip on their shoulders, they want so badly to win their first ever B-League title. Itong Brex naman, they won the first ever B-League championship back in, I think, 2016, if I'm not mistaken. Now, they want to do it again. They want to win again, and they want to prove that they are indeed the best team this season in the B-League.
This is going to be a special coverage, not just for you, not just for me, but for all B-League fans watching right now. Dahil joining us, Thirdy Ravena, our 3rd panelist para sa game number 3. So game number 3, tatlo pong panelist nyo para sa araw na to, Thirdy. Thank you for giving us the time, pare, and joining us for game number 3.
Yeah, it's an honor to join you, Sir Anthony and Sir Enzo, and I want to thank the B-League for inviting me and having me over. I mean, it's going to be my first cover game, so it should be exciting.
Quickly off the bat, pag-usapan natin para sa'yo, how has the series gone? You've been able to take a look at the highlights from games number 1, number 2. Your thoughts?
Well, I think it boils down in this game to whoever makes a run at the start. Kasi para sa akin, Utsunomiya is a strong defensive team and Chiba is a strong offensive team. So it's going to be a nice matchup between the two. And yeah, it should be exciting for today's game.
Unfortunately, Thirdy, you were telling us earlier you were not able to play against these 2 teams, but obviously you see the talent that they have in the B-League. So this is going to be an exciting game number 3, sigurado yun.
Yeah, you know, with Rossiter there and with Yuki, you know, watching both of these guys just carry their team, it's an amazing sight to see. And, you know, hindi ko sila nakalaro nung first season ko sa B-League, but it's going to be exciting how these teams play, and I'm going to be able to see the style that they have that makes them a top team in the league.
We're going to break down this game for each and every one of you. We're going to start with Enzo first. Enzo, pag-usapan natin, dun sa mga nakita natin in the first 2 games, what do you think also it will boil down to dito sa araw na to?
Well, nakita natin, Anthony, may pattern in the first 2 games eh. Kung sinong team yung manalo ng rebounding battle, that team has the overwhelming, you know, odds or enjoys the overwhelming odds to win that particular game. No? In game 1, it was Sebastian Saiz and Gavin Edwards dominating the battle of the boards, you know, carrying Chiba to a 20-point win as we see that on screen. In game 2, completely different story. You know, you have Ryan Rossiter and Josh Scott dominating the rebounding battle for the Utsunomiya Brex, and they won that game very comfortably, winning by 24 points. So I think rebounding is going to be extremely crucial, no? But the second factor I see is going to be bench production. No? Throughout this series, yung bench production ng Chiba has been very, very consistent. Very good, in fact. But yung Brex, game 1, they lost by 20. Their bench was absolutely awful. No? in Game 2, dun bumawi yung bench nila. With guys like Jeff Gibbs stepping up for the Brex, and Takeuchi as well. And of course, ang paborito nating shooter, si Nabe Time, si Hironori Watanabe. They stepped up big time in Game 2 and really were able to help the Brex to that win. So those are my two main factors, the rebounding and bench production for this game.
Punta tayo kay Thirdy. Thirdy, when you look at the experience from both these squads, ano yung mas importante sa tingin mo? Yung isang koponan na nakakuha ng panalo like Utsunomiya Brex or itong Chiba na umabot na sa finals 2 straight times at those 2 times nabigo sila?
Well, it's actually challenging, Sir Anthony, kasi nga, they say that defense wins championships. But having the experience of playing in the championships 3 times in a row, it's also something that you bring into the finals, especially in a do-or-die game like this. So that's gonna affect the team. I'm sure they've been in this situation. All their star players have been in this situation for numerous times now. So it's kind of hard to tell kung ano yung magdadala sa panalo, if it's gonna be defense or the championship experience. So for sure, it's gonna be a fun game to watch.
When you talk about the nerves, yung kaba ng mga players coming into the final game because they know there is no more tomorrow, 30.
Yeah.
You know, from your point of view, ikaw, everybody has nerves. But when do the nerves normally leave you? Pagkatapos ba ng jump ball after a few minutes of running up and down the court?
I mean, I definitely get nervous every single game, and I think it goes away with just making the simple and right decisions. Konti-konting nawawala yun as the game goes and as minutes go by. Hindi mo mapapansin na nawawala na siya sa'yo and you're just focused on doing the right things and keeping it simple. And I think that's the best way to go about it. And you really can't run from the pressure, you know. You just have to embrace it and just take it one play at a time, making the right decisions.
Enzo, pag pinag-usapan natin yung coaching battle, both these coaches know their players so well, they know their opponents so well. What will it boil down to from bench support kung tutusin mo?
Well, I think it's going to boil down to in-game adjustments. I'm sure that Coach Ono, yung coach ng Chiba Jets, he saw how his players really struggled in that game too, especially trying to cover yung hot shooting ng Utsunomiya Brex. So we'll see what kind of adjustments he has to make here. I think in particular, itong si Coach Ono, what he has to do is put a lot more pressure on the ball handlers of Utsunomiya Brex. Isang magandang adjustment na nakita natin from Coach Anzai in Game 2, yung big man niya, si Ryan Rossiter, yung naturalized player ng Japan, ginamit ni Coach Anzai si Rossiter as a ball handler, as the point of attack ng Utsunomiya. And that's something that was a brilliant adjustment on his part. So I want to see how Coach Ono is able to adjust to that. I also want to see if Coach Ono will try to change up his starting roster kasi his starting 5 just started flat in that game too. And si Gavin Edwards has been really the consistent guy for the Chiba Jets. So I want to see if he's going to do something different or if he's going to stick with his guns here in Game 3.
Alam mo, nakita natin yung interview niya ni Togashi a while ago. He was talking about what you just said, Enzo. He says rebounding is going to be key here for today's ball game. So sabi niya, from the beginning of the game, sabi niya, they're going to be really making sure that they take care of the rebounds on both ends. Let's talk about the crowd factor. Thirdy, you've played there in the B.LEAGUE just this last season. How big is the support of these Japanese fans dun sa respective na mga kuponan nila?
Well, I mean, I haven't experienced the atmosphere in Chiba, but in Utsunomiya, I mean, it's crazy. They don't have that much people, tulad ng meron tayo sa Araneta, but the energy and the atmosphere is just different. And you really feel the support kasi lahat sila naka-yellow, lahat sila just cheering so hard for the team. So just having that at the gym is certainly gonna be a factor in the finals.
Ikaw naman, Enzo, you know, when you look at the fact that obviously this is not a home arena for either squad, what the B.LEAGUE does is they choose a certain arena at the start of the season, tapos dun nilalaro ito parang sa Super Bowl na ginagawa nila sa United States, you know, so it's an independent venue, pero nakita naman natin kalahati Utsunomiya, kalahati nakita natin Chiba Jets. Do you think there's a factor that it is in a different venue, so to speak?
I think we factor yun, no? From a player's perspective or even a coach's perspective, you're comfortable knowing you are on equal footing in at least that aspect of the game. So that's one less thing that you have to think about. And of course, sometimes, pag may home court advantage ang isang team, ang impression ay that kind of affects the officiating even unconsciously. But here in this particular setup, I don't think we have that kind of factor to worry about. No? And from a fan's perspective naman, visually, and pinag-uusapan natin the past 2 games, diba, Anthony? Ang ganda tingnan eh. Para kumbaga sa Philippine context, parang Ateneo Lasal na green
Tama.
and blue. Dito naman, halata mo, red and yellow, di ba? Ang ganda tingnan talaga. It creates a really, really vibrant atmosphere, kumbaga. Just perfect for a Game 3.
You know, Thirdy, let's talk about how much the local players look up to and expect the imports to be able to really show the way. Dahil ikaw, syempre naging Asian quota import ka dyan sa B.LEAGUE, talagang malaki talaga inaasahan nila sa mga imports, ano?
Yeah, and I think especially for Utsunomiya, who has Rossiter, they really expect a lot because he and Yuta Tabuse are like the brain and heart of the team. And as well as in Chiba, they have guys like Gavin Edwards and Size, who are really rim protectors, and they do their jobs very well, whether it's on offense and on defense. So these two teams rely quite heavily on their imports. So kailangan mag-produce din ng numbers yung imports to be effective in this game.
Enzo, you know, looking at the faces that you've seen so far, that we've been showing on the screens, parang napaka-focus talaga lahat ng mga players from both squads.
Oh, totoo yan, no? And hindi yan surprising, no? Especially since it's Game 3 already. It's literally the last game of the season. This game is for all the marbles. It's win or go home. Win and raise that trophy, or go home crying with, you know, pretty much empty-handed. So I think both teams really have something to prove. And that's why they're really focused and keyed in for this Game 3. And, you know, if you put yourself in the shoes of these players, I'm sure may konting nerves yan, may konting anxiety, but at the same time, they're excited to be able to show what they can do and give their all to be able to get that big win and raise that trophy at the end of the game.
In that interview kanina ni Rossiter while we were talking and breaking down this game, siya din, sinabi din niya, rebounding is gonna be the key to victory here. So Thirdy, sa tingin mo rin agree ka kay Enzo, agree ka dun kay Togashi at saka kay Rossiter na rebounding will be malaking susi sa series ito.
Yes, I mean, definitely sinabi ng, I think, the two best players in this series that rebounding is key. So just goes to show how important that aspect of the game is.
But obviously, when you talk about rebounding, gentlemen, you know, it's obviously it boils down to desire more than anything else, because you really can't work on rebounding. It has to be the particular players that are on the floor that make a conscious effort to, number one, box out, and then number two, get that rebound.
Yeah.
As we can see there, the trophy being showcased. Naku, kung hindi pa sila kinakabahan kanina, mas lalo silang kakabahan ngayon dahil yan, pinapakita na yung trophy na iuwi nung mananalo sa araw na to. There we have, of course, this was the actor that we had in the opening ceremonies for game number 1. Number 1, thanking the fans for coming over, and number 2, thanking everybody for supporting the B.LEAGUE. And again, sabi nga niya, he was wishing both teams well and may the best team win. So, yan, makikita natin ito na. Mukhang mamaya-maya we're gonna have the starting lineup from both these squads. And let's talk about the starting lineups this early. Enzo, you're talking about the fact that maybe you're hoping na yung Chiba Jets mag-iba ng balasa ng konti, pero mukhang they're sticking with the same starting 5. What do you think?
No? Yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
they are starting with the same.
Si Gavin Edwards, he's not in that starting 5 unit, no. But so not a big surprise. I was hoping that Coach Ono would make that adjustment, but I think it's clear he is sending a message to his starting 5 na I trust you guys. I have faith in you na makakabawi kayo dito sa Game 3. And I think kasi if Gavin Edwards is placed in the starting 5, that will kind of negate one of their advantages, which is also bench production. Like I said, their bench has been more consistent in this series so far. So I'm guessing that Coach Ono does not want to relinquish that advantage. That's why he's keeping the bench for the second unit.
Ikaw, Thirdy, sa tingin mo, magandang strategy ba yan to have one ace or yung sinasabi na may alas ka coming off the bench to be able to help your squad? Because tama nga si Enzo, parang kung tutusin mo, itong si Gavin Edwards might be their best import, but they have him coming off the bench, Thirdy.
Yeah, and also I think it's also good to switch things up a little bit, especially in big games like these. So sometimes, hopefully, it's gonna work for them this game. But it's always nice to have someone who's one of the best players in the team be in the second unit, just so he could guide, he could have that energy, he could lead the team when the starters are out and the second unit's in. So that should be a good strategy for Chiba Jets.
From a player's perspective, Thirdy, how difficult is it coming off the bench compared to starting? Because you've been able to play both roles, you know, especially coming off the injury, they had you coming off the bench, but most of the time you were a starter. Mahirap pa talaga coming off the bench and being able to contribute right away.
Coming off the bench, just knowing the rotation that we have in the team, it's kind of challenging kasi nga, as a second, as part of the second five, mapapasok ko lang mga 5 minutes ng first quarter and then they're gonna take you out in the next probably the last 5 minutes of the second quarter or 7 minutes of the second quarter, and then the next time you'll play will be 5 minutes in the third quarter. So you know that you're going to be sitting out, and you know that you have to perform if you want to stay in the game. So I think starting off.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 3. The starters for both these squads. Utsunomiya Brex starting out with Pete, Endo, Ikaruga, Rossiter, at si Scott. Para naman sa kabilang panig, Chiba Jets mag-umpisa lang with Duncan, Togashi, Sato, Saiz, at saka si Shutahara. Ngayon makikita natin itong dalawang koponan na to have not changed their starting lineups. And so ngayon makikita po natin something has gotta give here. Yuta Tapuso there in the back. We'll see if he will be able to see some action here. But tip ball, jump ball, at ito na. Unang possession for the very first time here in the series. Brex ang may unang tangan ng bola. Rossiter brings it closer, finds Peak inside, breakdown in defense. First 2 points goes to Utsunomiya.
Yes, good pass. No? Si LJ Peak has not been having a good series, Anthony and Thirdy. No? He's averaging only about 7.5 points, but they wanted to score in the 20s sana. So that's a good sign if they can get him going early. Good sign for Utsunomiya.
Nothing there from Togashi. Babalik yung bola sa panig ngayon ng Utsunomiya Brex. So far, Thirdy, they've only gone up and down the court a couple of times. Pero nakikita mo ba parang may kababa. O mas may kababa yung isa dun sa isang team.
Well, Sir Anthony, I think it's quite hard to tell, especially at the beginning of the game. Pero as we can see, Utsunomiya is flowing pretty well. So I think medyo ready sila for this moment. I'm just not so sure. I haven't seen Chiba. But hopefully, Sir Anthony, it's going to be a good offense or a good flow for both teams.
Right now, it's 4-0 Utsunomiya Brex. Ikaruga hits from the inside. The Thirdy was talking about the fact that he wants to be able to see both these teams get off to good starts. And a 3 from the outside there. Drops para kay Sato.
Good sign in for Chiba, Anthony and Thirdy. No? Sato has been a bit of a non-factor in the first 2 games. Good look, good assist by Togashi, then good 3 by Takuma Sato right there.
But another basket here for Utsunomiya Brex. As you can see, Ikaruga now with 2 baskets inside. It seems like the interior defense has been lacking para dito sa koponan ng Chiba Jets. Looking to complete the 3-point play is Ikaruga. He's got 4 points, make that 5 points now early in the contest. Balik na naman sa 4 ang kalamangan dito.
Ikaruga stepping up, no, Anthony and Thirdy. And that's a good sign also for the Brex because they need more scoring from he's not a second stringer, he's a starter, but he's not really among the top tier scorers for the Brex. So if they can get about 5 to 10 points from someone like Ikaruga, that's already a big lift for the chances of Utsunomiya in this game.
Early foul going to be called there on Endo. That's his first team foul para sa koponan ng Utsunomiya Brex. On the offensive end, still Chiba. Shutahara sa may labas. Uses that Sai's pick. They look for Sai's inside. Opts for the fall away and hits. It is cut down to 2. Peak sa may labas. Endo might have traveled slightly there. Officials say play on. Endo, kumanan ng 3. Little bit off to the left. Sai's with the rebound.
Not sure that was a good shot, Anthony, and Thirdy. Medyo pilit yun from Endo. Not his best shot.
Shutahara. 3. Pasok!
Yeah.
How important is it, Thirdy, for these 3-point shots to go in early for both these squads, especially right now for Chiba?
Yeah, especially for Chiba, I think Shutahara's shooting is going to be a factor, especially if he hits a lot of threes early. Because it's going to allow the inside players to play inside the court while it's going to spread out the defense. Kasi nga, he's shooting 40% from the field. So it's going to be a crucial thing for both teams if they get to hit their threes early.
Yun, kakasabi mo lang 30. It opened things up inside and Sai's takes advantage. Pinasok na naman yung kanyang saksak sa may loob. 4 na puntos na para dito kay Sai's.
I like what I'm seeing from the Chiba front line, Anthony and Thirdy. They're much more active, much more aggressive compared to how they were in Game 2.
Yep.
Kita naman natin itong dalawang koponan have really come to play here in game number 3. They realized there is no more tomorrow. As you said, it's win or go home. That's gonna stay here on. Now they're gonna move to the other end. Last touch doon si Roster. Duncan na magbababa ng bola ngayon. One of the few times we've seen him bring down that basketball. Hands it over to Togashi. Togashi, naghahanap na ng puwang. Sato cups that ball, throws it up. One and done. Here comes
Bad
Brex.
shot. I thought that was a bad shot from Sato. Forced shot, runner in the lane.
And here we have LJ Peak scoring once again. Napakarami ng mga layups dito. That's not a good sign, 30.
Yeah, especially if Peak gets his momentum early, you don't want him scoring a lot of points, especially in this game, because when he sees that lane, you know he's going to go in. And if Chiba doesn't clog that lane, it's going to be tough for them this whole game.
Kita natin, tabla na tayo at 10. That's the first deadlock of our ball game. This is gonna prove to be an exciting affair. We're hoping it goes down to the final minutes. Tres na naman! Sato cannot hit. Rossiter gives it up. He eventually will end up with his basketball. There you go. Siya naman talaga ang main quarterback. Trying to work against Shutahara. Sets up Endo. Not gonna drop. Rossiter battling for it. That foul might be on Togashi.
Wow. And you see the desire of Ryan Rossiter, no? Anthony and Thirdy. Anthony, you were saying kanina, rebounding is about desire. And I think Rossiter really embodied that in this particular look. He's fighting against 3 red shirts, no, in this particular sequence. And yun nga, si Togashi kasi, he's giving up like 12 inches yata, no, on Rossiter. So medyo no choice siya doon. Loose ball foul for Yuki Togashi.
Sabi ni Togashi, hindi naman asahan na makuha ko yung rebound. Napakalaki naman itong kalabang mo ito. They go to Rossiter. Rossiter attacks once again. That's better interior defense. He's shutting the door on him. Don't look now, but an early entry for Makoto Hiejima. Rossiter for 3. No. Another offensive rebound. That time courtesy of Josh Scott. 2 free throws coming up here for Ikaruga.
Well, si Rossiter ang almost lagi natin pinag-uusapan when it comes to the front line of the Brex. Pero ito si Josh Scott, in this series, is actually proven to be quite a problem for Chiba. No? He's averaging 17 points, about 6 rebounds per game after games 1 and 2. So he's someone that Chiba really has to neutralize for them to win Game 3 here.
Nakapasok na rin si Gavin Edwards para naman sa kabilang panig together with Shannon Shorter. So, Maagang pagbabalas ang ginagawa nitong mga coaches. Obviously, they want to make sure that they stay ahead as much as they possibly can. 2 free throws for Ikaruga. A very good start, scoring-wise, for Ikaruga sa hapong ito. Ikaruga now with 7 points. He's got 7 out of the 12. Shorter. Here's Edwards. They swing it. Hara. Saiz. High-low play. No, Saiz will take it in himself.
Wow.
Basket and one opportunity.
That's a tough shot.
Good move from Sebastian Saiz, no? You know, this guy kind of reminds you of Joachim Noah, no? Thirdy and Anthony. Not just because of his, you know, his ponytail or his man bun, whatever you want to call it. But he's very scrappy. Sometimes a little awkward, pero he gets the job done, no? This is a guy who's been very, very good for Chiba in this series. He's averaging 14 points, almost 13 rebounds per game. So he's going to be a big contributor for Chiba here in Game 3.
Almost at the halfway mark of the first quarter. It's been close, and there's another breakdown in defense. We've seen that time and time again. So many easy baskets inside. A perfect pass, though, from Ryan Rossiter. Seesaw affair. 14-13 ngayon lamang Utsunomiya. Nakapasok na rin itong si Nishimura.
Wow.
3 from the outside. That's the third 3 already.
Did he call back?
I think he did.
What a 3 from Saiz, huh?
And Saiz already with 10 points early on. So it has been Saiz on one end, Ikaruga on the other. Edwards with a steal. Nishimura nagmamadali. Saiz asking for it. Why not give it to him? Mainit siya ngayon. And that heat check will end up in a traveling violation. Yun 30, gigil na yun, ano?
I'd still call it a heat check, though. I mean, he had a couple of straight points, so now he hit it back from the 3. So ngayon, nagkaroon siya ng kumpiyansa, but ngayon medyo gigil nga lang ng konti si Anthony.
Dapat hindi na siya nag-jab step. Alam mo, pumikit na lang sana siya. Binato na lang sana niya yung bola. Baka pumasok pa dahil sobrang init niya ngayon eh.
Oo nga.
Still a 2-point lead by Chiba here. Watanabe has checked in with a pass. That was a heat check also for Ikaruga. Missing that time. Look at them battling for that ball. It's going to be a jump ball situation.
Playoff basketball. Yan ang gusto natin makita. This is what Game 3 is about. The arms flying, bodies diving to the floor, fighting for that loose ball. Sige, laban lang kayo. It's Game 3 for the championship.
And Mr. Energy guy, Jeff Gibbs, is off the bench, trying to give his squad what he can contribute dito sa game number 3.
Well, si Gibbs, no, he broke out in a big way for Utsunomiya in Game 2. One reason they won big, no? The Charles Barkley of the Brex. So we'll see what he can contribute here.
That time shorter, nakawala na, pero tumama sa kanyang tuhod. One of the few turnovers we've seen here. It has been a game played at the highest level. And fittingly, this is game number 3 of the NISSAY B.LEAGUE Finals for 2020-2021. Hiyajima gets it right back, puts it up with the left hand.
I was about to say, medyo pilit yung kay Makoto Hijima. Kating-kating na ito makascore, Anthony, kasi over games 1 and 2, parang 2 out of 9 or 2 out of 10 field goals ang na-shoot niya combined. So kating-kating makascore si Hijima. Kaya na ginawa yun, medyo pilit, pero pasok.
Ito naman, si Edwards. Tumikada ng 3, pasok. And that is the 4th 3-point shot for the Chiba Jets. Sabi ni Coach Anzay, mag-usap-usap muna tayo. We'll take a break. 3:11 remaining here in quarter number 1. At nagbabalik po tayo dito sa Yokohama Arena. Anthony Suntay together with Enzo Flojo and Thirdy Ravena for game number 3 of the NISSAY B.LEAGUE Finals. Lamang na tatlo ang Chiba Jets at hindi natin, gentlemen, na pag-usapan yung 3-point shooting has been a real key here sa larong ito. 4 out of 5 para sa Chiba, 0 out of 5 naman para sa Utsunomiya.
Yes, Sir Anthony. It's been crucial, especially Chiba hitting shots very early. Magiging problema yan pag nagtuloy-tuloy lang yung mga 3 points nila down the road.
Little bit too strong that time from Nishimura. Mukhang narinig ka niya, 30, tumikata na siya agad. Sabi niya, gusto ko na sumali dito sa party ng aking mga teammates. He misses that time though.
So he check party nila, Sir Anthony.
Parang gano'n na nga para sa kanila yun. Shot clock is down to 3. They're gonna have to throw this one up. Sinuwerte pa si Jima. Gavin Edwards with another rebound.
Good defense by Chiba, no?
Talagang umiikot sila, Enzo. Nakikita mo. Scrambling left and right.
Yeah.
Shorter, medium range jumper. Rims out. Coming out of the phrase, Ikaruga. Almost lost it. Gets it back. And now they go inside to Scott. Scott gives it up. That's not his forte, being on the outside. So ipapasa niya. They're gonna have to make their move now. Under 5 seconds. Hijima for 3. Misfires.
Wala pa rin. May halong malas pa rin talaga si Hijima in this series, no? He's supposed to be one of their top gunners, especially coming off the bench. We know him as a top scorer for the Japanese national team, but so far, he's been ice cold in this championship series.
Wow.
Nishimura hits.
Veteran moves.
Well, Fumio Nishimura is 34 years old. Only standing 5'10", pero nakita mo, tumigil siya doon. Nabangga siya ni Watanabe, and he made that shot. Free throw coming up now here for Nishimura. This is now the biggest lead of the ball game for the Chiba Jets at 5. Could be 6. Stays at 5. Chance of defense on one end, chance of
Good pass.
offense on the other. Hijima gets away inside. No, that's Kai Taves.
That was a good kick-out pass from Hijima to Taves in the corner. Good decision by Taves to actually attack the basket as they were closing out on him. And he was rewarded with a good basket right there.
Ko Flippin has checked in para sa Chiba. So bibilis lalo yung laro natin. Shorter for 3. That's one of the few misses that they've had. Rossler back in action and he picks up that rebound. Taves inside.
Good
Extra pass. Hijima 3. Short. Edwards taps it to himself but punta kay Hijima. Hijima misses again.
Malas talaga.
Man,
Well, short
parang
assist.
may takip talaga yung basket pag si Hijima sumushoot eh.
Parang ganun nga. 15.6 seconds remaining here. Still a 3-point lead enjoyed by Chiba. At sila pa may possession. Checking in is Shigeru Taguchi. Flippin's gonna be replaced quite surprisingly. Sabi ni Shorter, ako na may tangan ng bola. And let me make the last minute decisions here. He takes it in all the way. High off the glass. Will miss. Rossiter knows the time. That will count if it goes. Wala pa rin silang long distance shot. And Shorter looks a little bit hurt. We'll check on Shorter's situation when we come back. The first quarter ends 21-18. Lamang ang Chiba Jets.
Kelly のシュート決まったなんという劇的な終わり方 残りは5秒。最後のシュートは誰に行くか。田中がシュートは決めてきた。 0.5 秒で決めてきました。倒されながらのタフショット。後半最後のタイム。藤井が張った。藤井が張ってピボットを踏んで藤井決めた。藤井だ。やはり4クォーター 0.7 秒まだある。カーターのロングスローはこれ短い。藤井が決めた。
最後藤井選手でしたね。
残り6秒。あれが来る。ブラックショット。古川が行く。古川のスリー。これは決まった。ストライクまで落ちた。ブザービート。
いや、劇的な幕切れでしたね。
Ito na ating second quarter ng game number 3. Utsunomiya Brex laban sa Chiba Jets para sa titulo. Dito sa B-League, Anthony Suntay together with Enzo Flojo and Thirdy Ravena. Roster ngayon na may unang tangan ng bola. Lamang ng tatlo ang Chiba Jets. And gentlemen, nakita natin dito yung field goal shooting has been real key here in the first 10 minutes of play. Sa may labas, hindi pa pasok ang pikada ni Jeff Gibbs. And rebounding as well has been very instrumental for both these squads in getting to where they are right now. Nishimura, yes!
Wow. This guy, he could be the X factor right here for the Jets. So if this 34-year-old veteran can, catch fire, continue his hot shooting, Utsunomiya better watch out.
Wala pa ring tres itong Utsunomiya Brex. And already 5 out of 8 ang Chiba Jets. Can they keep up this pace though, 30? Sa tingin mo, can they shoot this well for 4 quarters?
Sana. I mean, that's gonna be a big factor para sa kanila. Especially na hindi makapasok ng field goal yung Utsunomiya. So, pag nagtuloy-tuloy lang tong shooting ng Chiba and they make a run, baka maging malaki yung margin yan sa dulo ng game in this Game 3 of the finals.
Ito, sabi ni Gavin Edwards, sige Anthony, huwag kang mag-alala, meron din akong long 2. Ngayon, lamang na sila ng 8. Miss there by Gibbs. And it's gonna go against Josh Duncan.
Wow. At yan ang medyo naging weakness ni Josh Duncan na nakita natin the past 2 games, no? He's really quite a foul-prone player. Talaga namang pinawakan niya yung right arm ni Ryder Rossiter in that sequence, no?
Essentially a platoon substitution. 3 players coming in. Peak. We have Josh Scott and also Endo.
I think that second
in there
unit
as well.
for the Brex. Yeah, that second unit for the Brex, Anthony and Thirdy just wasn't cutting it for Coach Anzai, no? Because of that second unit's poor offense, they find themselves down by 8 points all of a sudden.
And they still cannot buy a basket from the outside. Talagang inaalat yung kanilang shooting dun, I wouldn't be surprised, gentlemen, kung pagdating ng halftime break, hindi na sila pumasok sa locker room at sabihin ni Coach Anzai, tumira nga muna kayo sa labas dyan.
Extra work pala,
passing
extra
side.
work.
Yun nga, parang ganun eh. That's gonna drop here for Duncan.
Wow.
Early burst for the Chiba Jets here at the start of the second period. And a quick timeout will be called here by Coach Anzai. It's now a 10-point lead enjoyed by Chiba. 2 minuto na nakakaraan dito sa ating second period. 7 puntos na ang naitala ng Chiba Jets dito. Wala pang score ang Brex dito. Thirdy, what do you think has happened here to the offense nitong Brex?
Actually, Sir Anthony, hindi rin ako sure. Pero talagang may takip yung ring ng Utsunomiya. Hindi sila makashoot whether it's a 3-point basket or a short jumper. So, nagsastruggle talaga sila ngayon to find their shot.
They have had the open shots. Hindi lang talaga pumapasok. That was a wild shot though by Peak.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a shot that they needed right there. They need to be aggressive, yes, pero they need better shot selection kasi wala. Their field goal percentage has been 0 in this quarter right now. Big reason they're down by double digits.
And I remember, I think twice, Enzo, binanggit mo na hindi mo nagustuhan yung shot selection na ginawa ng Brex in the first period. So nakita natin, it continues here in the second, and that definitely is one of the main reasons kung bakit humahabol sila ngayon ng 10.
That's true, no? Actually, ang weird ng start ng game natin so far. We talked about how rebounding is going to be the most crucial factor, but Utsunomiya is actually leading in rebounds right now, but that's offset by the outstanding shooting of Chiba, no? Chiba has 5 threes, and it's not from just 1 or 2 people. 5 different people have hit those 5 3-pointers, which makes it even more difficult defensively para sa Brex, on that side of the floor.
Finally, nakakamada from the outside. But they're saying it's a long 2. No, they're gonna give him a 3. So finally, nakatres na rin sila. Let's see if that opens things up here. Lead cut down to 7. Saiz, nakabalik na sa laro. Ito na naman. Si Nishimura. Nishimura! Gusto sumagot ng 3. Scott with the rebound.
That was a mismatch right there. I thought Nishimura would have probably been better off driving to the hole, no? Kasi si Rossiter nasa harap niya.
Peak, extra pass. 3 from Endo. Back-to-back threes. Has cut that lead down.
Badly needed 3-point shots from Rossiter and Endo for the Brex right there.
And after those back-to-back threes, kita natin, sinasabi lang ni Thirdy na hindi nga sila nakakatira sa labas. Ayan, finally, they're starting to hit their outside shots.
Yeah.
Timeout will be called this time by Coach Atsushi Ono. .6:11 remaining here in the first half. It's a 4-point lead enjoyed by Chiba. Game number 3 po ito. Banggaan na naman doon. And it looks like Nishimura's hurt.
Nako. And he's the one pa naman who's been the catalyst of this Chiba offense in this quarter, no? So I hope he's okay.
How much do you cringe, Thirdy, when you see all these players going down with injuries? Because parang medyo snake-bitten ka dito sa season na to. You've been in and out of the lineup because of COVID, because of a few injuries here and there.
Well, yun nga, it's the last thing you want to see, especially pag nanonood ka ng basketball. And I think na yun yung kinakatakutan ng lahat ng athletes, not just basketball players, are injuries like that, whether big or small. Lalo na makaka-apekto yan in a game like this na napaka-big game for both teams. And hopefully, wala nang ma-injure ngayon.
We're hoping for that. We're looking for an exciting finish here. Gavin Edwards tries to put it through. No! Rossiter grabs that rebound, says enough is enough. They have a chance to cut the lead even further here. It once stood at 10. Ngayon, 4 na lang. Peak had a good start in the first period. He's cooled down. Tries to bring it closer, attacks, and hits!
Good. And that's what you want to see more if you're an Utsunomiya fan. No, LJ Peak, much more aggressive this time around. I think he has 7 points already. So that's a very good sign for Coach Anzai. Hopefully Peak can continue to be aggressive, so that will spark the offense for the Brex.
Philippine, binalik na. Thought about that shot. Gives it up to Edwards. Edwards falling away, hits.
Man, parang specialty talaga ni Edwards yung parang one of the single foot fade away. He's hit like 2 shots like that already in this game.
That stops the drought para sa Chiba Jets. Medyo inalat sila ng konti. Ngayon, lamang na naman sila ng 4. The tip goes in there for Josh Scott. That's going to bring us to our first official timeout here. It's a 2-point lead enjoyed by Chiba. 4:38 remaining in half number 1.
今のはこれ並里ですね。
これです、この後、
これですね。
すいません。
ビハインドザバックですか。
うわって言っちゃいました。
と言わなうならせる。
さあ今度は富樫。この点を取られた後すぐに取り返す。おしゃれなパスがあった。この第4クォーターで遺憾なく発揮している名古屋。このパスは通らない。ファストブレイク。後ろに回しました。バーレルのダンク。
It has been an exceptional game number 3 as expected. Ito po ang ating NISSAY B.LEAGUE Finals 2020-21. Utsunomiya Brex laban sa Chiba Jets. Anthony Suntay po ang inyong nakakasama together with Enzo Flojo and Thirdy Ravena. Chiba may tangan ng bola. Lamang ng 2. They go inside. 3-second violation itatawag.
I thought Shorter was dribbling a little bit too much in that sequence. No, he started his approach a little too slowly, and that led to that 3-second violation for the Chiba Jets.
Look at the turnover situations. 2 turnovers pa lang para sa Brex, 3 lang para sa Chiba Jets. 30, those are very good numbers.
Yeah, very good numbers, especially for a game like this. Nakikita mo na talagang pinag-iingatan ng mga players yung bola kasi in a game like this, every possession counts. So you have to make the most out of each possession and make sure na hindi mo ito turn over yung bola.
Hijima, shaking, baking, traveling.
Hey. Oh. And Hijima, he has just been really off in this series, Anthony and Thirdy. This is so out of character because we see him in FIBA competitions. He's so consistent. He's so slick and sharp, but there's just something about the defense, I guess. And maybe the pressure of it all that's just made him play really off character in this series.
There have been so many instances, Enzo and Thirdy, na nakita natin si Hijima pumapatay sa atin, ano? Siniguro sinasabi ng mga fans, ba't hindi naman niya gawin sa atin yan? Pag tayo kalaro, doon siya mag-traveling. Di ba? Doon siya ipasok yung kanyang mga tres. But it's happened at a very poor time for his squad here. But they're only down by 2. Endo, atake na naman sa loob. Goes to the left hand. And his prayer was answered.
This guy, he's been stepping up, hit that 3 about a minute or 2 ago, and now aggressive drive to the basket ties the game. And this is the scoring run that Coach Anzai really wants to see from his team. Because this is what they're capable of. They're a very explosive team.
Bumalik na si Shutahara. That should open things up in the interior para sa ofensiba ng Chiba Jets. But there's a steal here. And from who? Mr. Energy, Jeff Gibbs.
Playing the passing lane with Jeff Gibbs there. He's giving up about 3 or 4 inches on Gavin Edwards, but his nose for the ball is just unmatched, I think, in this particular series, and he showed it in that sequence.
Dito mo talagang gigil na gigil eh. Kala niya, makakapag fast break na sila. Reklamo siya kaagad because he was stopped in his tracks off that foul from Nishimura. Here comes Watanabe checking in once again. We have not yet seen any of his long toms.
Wala pa tayong nabe time ngayong game 3 ito, Anthony. No?
Let's see, let's find out. Hironori Watanabe, one of the best three-point shooters in the B-League. Under 3 minutes to play here. Tabla tayo sa 30. Once again, it's Hiyajima. Finds Rossiter. Rossiter will lose possession. Togashi, suddenly, dumating si Gibbs. Nilabas na niya yung bola. Naalangan siya. Duncan comes out. Togashi back in action.
Mismatch.
They can't get it to Duncan. And Ko Flippin, one of the smallest guys on the floor, grabs that rebound. Togashi for 3. Bang!
Big shot.
Great rebound right there by Ko Flippin. He's one of the smallest guys on the floor. But like what you said, Anthony, earlier, it's all about desire. And he showed that desire by getting that key offensive board.
And it led to a 3-point shot. Tatlo na naman ang kalamangan ng Chiba Jets. Bang! Another hit from the outside.
Pumasok na.
Finally.
And we are tied at 33.
And that's what you want to see if you're Makoto Hijima. Just seeing that 3-point shot down the net, no? That could do wonders for your confidence.
Chance for Utsunomiya to take the lead here. It's been a while. They started out this ball game with a 4-0 blast. Lamang sila ng 4-0. And then they trailed 8-7. And pagkatapos nun, halos most of the game, lamang na yung Chiba. In fact, they built up a lead of 10, the earliest, at 28-18. Taking care of this possession. Peak sa may labas. Using that nice screen. Hiyajima has to recover. Hiyajima will take it in himself. Fall away. No. Yan na naman, Enzo. Isang pilit na naman na tirang ginawa ni Hiyajima.
Yep. And, you know, medyo gigil talaga si Hijima. I mean, his confidence probably shot up after hitting that 3. But you gotta make good decisions. Better decisions, especially since it's game 3 already and the game's tied. And you're going up against a team as good as Chiba.
Togashi just hit that 3 earlier. Naghahanap ng pwesto. Inside, Duncan. Baby hook works. Balik
Good
na naman
find
ang
right there
kalamangan.
by Togashi. Togashi with a good find right there. Great vision. Knowing that the defense of Utsunomiya collapsed on him, leaving Duncan open for that easy 2.
Peak. Gustong bumawi. He might be having 2 free throws coming his way. Well, nasa penalty na yung Chiba. So, siguradong whether he was in the act of shooting or not, free throws coming up here for LJ Peak.
A good recognition from Peak. No? He felt that he had the edge when he was matching up with Shutahara. So he drove strong to the basket. Got the foul. Now a chance to get 2 free throws. Already has 7 points. So if he hits at least one of these, he'll be the leading scorer already for the Brex in this game.
Well, you jinxed him in that instance.
Sorry na,
Well,
sorry
you did
na.
say 1 out of 2.
Sabi ko naman at least one, at least
Oo
one.
nga, at least 1. Ngayon, pag namintis niya to, kasalanan mo na talaga. Trying to get his team to within 1. Peak misses both. Saiz, though, will lose possession. It's going to stay on this end.
I'm so sorry, LJ Peaks, but you guys still have possession, so you know the basketball gods are smiling on you pa rin.
Watch it there once again. Saiz grabbed that rebound and then lost it. And who was there? Josh Gibbs na naman. Joining that piece of action. And a timeout will be called here by Utsunomiya Brex. Coach Anzai wants to draw up on offensive play. .1 seconds ang natitira dito sa ating first half. This is game number 3 between Utsunomiya Brex and the Chiba Jets. Pinaglalaban nila ang kampyonato ng B.LEAGUE Finals for 2020-2021. Anthony Suntay here together with Enzo Flojo and Thirdy Ravena. Let's see what Coach Anzai drew up here. Roster ngayon may inbound. Finds Yajima. A lot of time on the shot clock. Yajima takes it himself.
There you
And
go.
it'll drop.
Hijima has maybe about 6 or 7 inches on Yuki Togashi. Recognizing that mismatch, turnaround shot over him, makes it, and just like that, Hijima I think has around 7 points already.
Togashi's gonna run this one down. Takes a 3, wants the lead. Flipping with another offensive rebound. Short though on that one, and how fitting is it gonna be that the first 20 minutes of play will end up in a tie, 35 apiece.
Well, we get what we wish, Anthony, you know?
And now we have a few minutes to be able to discuss this 30. Your thoughts on what you saw here in the first 2 quarters?
Well, to begin with, grabe nga yung start ng Chiba, especially getting hot off the threes. And as well as for Utsunomiya naman na nagsastruggle with their field goal shooting. Pero as you can see, as the game progressed, talagang nahanap na rin ng Utsunomiya yung rhythm nila, yung shot nila. And the 2 3-pointers was very crucial for them kasi nga yun yung nagbukas ng ring para sa team nila. So right now, it's been tough matchup. As you can see, tie yung game. So the second half should be a good one.
Ikaw naman, Enzo, yung nakita mo. Obviously, we talked about rebounding numbers. Rebounding wasn't as key as the hot shooting na pinakita dito ng koponan ng Chiba to start things out.
Well, Chiba needed to shoot really well, no? Because I think they're -5 or -4 right now in rebounding. To compensate for that, they needed to catch fire from beyond the arc. But I'm a little, to be honest, even if the score is tied at 35 square, no, I'm a little concerned for Chiba because the momentum, I think, is, you know, on the side of the Utsunomiya Brex. No? Ryan Rossiter only has 3 points, and yet they're tied with Chiba. LJP is more aggressive in this game. Heijima seems to be getting into his groove, and again, Utsunomiya has more rebounds already, and they're actually forcing a little bit more turnovers on Chiba. So if I'm Coach Ono on Chiba's side, I'd be a little concerned, and I'd want to tighten up defensively to start the second half.
Alam mo, Thirdy, pag nakita mo, parang mas nakakapag-contribute yung mga locals dun sa Chiba side, and it seems like heavily favored dun sa imports naman yung Utsunomiya. Yun di ba yung, yung observation mo?
Same din naman with what you said, Sir Anthony. Yun nga, gumagawa na yung even the bench players of Chiba are scoring. And as well as yung dun sa Utsunomiya, they're just like what I said before the game, they rely quite heavily on their imports to perform. So Rossiter and Peak and Gibbs and the other imports should be very ready come second half kasi nga the whole team depends on the performance of the imports for Utsunomiya.
Before we take a break, I'm going to ask both you gentlemen. We'll start with you, Enzo. Sa tingin mo, ano yung mga adjustments na kailangan gawin itong dalawang koponan in the second half? Because it's all or nothing sa darating na second half. Yeah, tiyak yun.
Well, for the Brex, they have to tighten up that rotation on their perimeter defense. So they cannot allow any more open shots for the Chiba Jets because that's what they've been living on so far in this game. While for Chiba, they have more assists right now. So they're doing well passing that basketball, but they have to really check their turnovers. Right now, they have 5 turnovers only. And I hope, for the Chiba fans out there, that they don't go past 10. Because I think if they go into double-digit turnovers in the second half, that's going to be a big red flag for the Jets against a surging Utsunomiya squad.
Ikaw naman, Thirdy, your thoughts for the second half? What will it boil down to?
I think what you mentioned kanina, also Sir Enzo, yung rebounding. Utsunomiya hasn't been shooting really well, but Chiba doesn't seem to be capitalizing on those misses in rebounding the ball. Sila pa rin yung down sa rebounds. So I think that's a very important part of the game, just like what Sir Enzo mentioned, and just like what Togashi and Rossiter mentioned at the start. So it's going to be crucial for either team na makakuha sila ng rebounds, especially to get those second chance points na hindi naman pumapasok lahat ng tira and they're not as lucky, this game.
Enzo, before we go to a break, we're going to lead with one final question. Obviously the crowd has been a big factor for both these squads. Do you think that will continue dito sa darating na second half?
I think so. I mean, we're getting the score line we wanted. It's a tied game going to the last 20 minutes of the season, practically. So I'm sure the crowd is going to get more excited, even louder in the second half. And I think the deeper we go into this game, the stronger a factor the crowd is going to be, psychologically, especially mentally, for these players.
Okay, thank you very much, gentlemen. We'll take a break. And we're going to be able to come back with a whole lot more when we come back dito po sa ating coverage ng B-League Finals for 2020-2021.
Oh, あと3秒。ベンドラメ3秒から来た。
そしてロシターボールを持って残り3秒。2秒。1秒。打ってから決めてきた。すごい。見事ですライアンロシター。ミドルから打っていったっていう判断です。スカウト。ノールックで入ろう。いや今の素晴らしいパス。
見えてました。
はい。スピードでかわすことはできなかったというところだ。これで終わるのか。スリーポイントが決まりました。これが素晴らしい。富樫さすがのこのシュート精度がありました。
いやもうね今完全に時間もね、見ながら
残りが5秒になる篠山、ここからアタックを開始。ゴンズに渡ってこれはいい合わせ。いいパスでした。第1クォーター終了。31対23。
残り10秒切っています。スイッチしました。木下のシュート落ちたが名古屋がつないだ。張本決めて第1クォーター終了。
このシュート大きかったんじゃないですかね。
さあ残りは動き出すショットクロック。これには外から金丸コーチでセンド目。すごい。
さあ富樫 富樫が行って最後はギャビー・エドワーズ。最後の最後決めきりました千葉ジェッツ。
バウンドをスクリーンアウトするのがなかなか捉えにくいんで、はい、おっと今の安藤のちょっとダンク気味でしたね。すごいダンクでしたね、はい、
篠山、長吉のディフェンス、辻はもう打つしかない。スリーポイント決めた。3本目。
キックアウト山内、そして広瀬のスリー、これも落ちる。さあ残りは21秒。
いやこれ時間使ってオーバータイムでもいいぐらいの形を取らないとですね。
3点が欲しい東京です。ディープスリーきたー。
タイムアウト。
安藤聖也トップオブザキーからのディープスリー、この勝負どころねじ込みました。そうですね、はい、これファール2回できるんで、多分切り刻むと思うんですよね。すぐダブルチームをかけてきます、渋谷です。田中から須田のスリー、須田は今シーズンはスリーポイント拾った。ポゼッション横浜、残り15秒切りました。森川受けてアクセンバーズのスリー、残り 8.3 秒、横浜逆転。新潟タイムアウト。だって昔から言うだろう、目は口ほどにものを言うんだ。ありがとうございます。まあね、落語も、バスケットボールもそうかもしれませんが、どうしてもね、不要不急というふうな位置づけになるかもしれませんけれども、一方で、こういったスポーツなり文化なりに自分自身が本当に救われてきたという印象がございます。多分今日のこの試合も誰かにとっては救いになったり、また生きる意味の一つになってるんじゃないかなと思っております。とにかく無事にこうして、B リーグのこのファイナル迎えられたことが何より素晴らしいなと思っております。泣いても笑っても残り20分でございます。いよいよお後がよろしいようで戦う決勝でございました。
ありがとうございました。落語家の立川吉祥さんでした。今一度大きな拍手をお送りください。
それではここで
It's halftime here sa Yokohama Arena at nakikita po natin ang mga highlights nung ating first half. This is game number 3 ng Utsunomiya Brex at ng Chiba Jets. Anthony Suntay po kasama si Enzo Flojo at saka si Thirdy Ravena. As we take a look at some of the highlights here, gentlemen, what to you stands out?
Well, for me, Sir Anthony, is the experience of Chiba, lalo na sa mga ganitong sitwasyon. They've been playing quite calmly. They're not forcing baskets like Utsunomiya, so makikita mo rin yung experience na meron sila. So I think that's the vital part of this championship game.
Alam mo, Enzo, when we saw the start of this ball game, ang dami mga inside incursions na ginawa nitong kupunan ng Chiba Jets. Well, actually, no. The Utsunomiya Brex had so many easy points inside that lane.
Yeah, they started very, very aggressively in this game, but I like the adjustment by Chiba to just clog down that lane and really make it more difficult for the Utsunomiya penetrators to be able to make anything happen. And of course, on the flip side, Chiba waxed hot also from beyond the arc, and that enabled them to get that, or to put up that 10-point lead. But at the same time, you have to give credit to the Brex that they adjusted as well late in the second quarter, no? And with guys like Hejima and Peak being a little bit more aggressive, they found a way back to tie this game and square it at 35. And that's where we are now, back at square one. Last 20 minutes to go, Game 3 of the finals.
Yan, nakita natin yung rebound ni Ko Flippin, which turned out to be give his squad a 3-point shot. Nakasagot ka agad si Hejima dito, kaya tabla pa rin tayo. It has been nip and tuck, and this sets up a mouth-watering finish para sa ating B-League season. Let's take a look at the numbers, and what do you see, Enzo?
Well, what jumps out at me is the shooting of the Chiba Jets from beyond the arc. They're shooting at 46%, and for a team, that's actually very, very high already, and that kind of offsets the fact that they're a little bit behind in rebounding. They're -3, no, with only 15 rebounds, while Utsunomiya Brex already with 18 rebounds. So those for me are two of the main, how do you call this? Two of the biggest factors in this game. No? Another thing to look at is that Utsunomiya Brex, they have 22 points in the paint already. So that's something that the Chiba Jets have to check.
Okay, let's look at even more numbers. Nakikita nyo po doon sa screens niyo, 22-8. Those are points in the paint. And that was big, Thirdy, kung tutusin mo na ganun kalaki ang kalamangan sa loob nitong Utsunomiya Brex.
Yeah, 23 points is a lot, so that should be a crucial factor, especially later on in the game when everyone's opening up. And it's going to be a game about who's more aggressive, whether it's outside the arc or attacking to the paint.
You know, Enzo, you're looking at the numbers a while ago. Nakita mo nga yung 3-point shooting was excellent at 46%, 6 out of 13. But you know, at one stage, that was actually 4 out of 5 kung tutusin mo. They were shooting the lights out. So can you imagine from that 4 out of 5, biglang they end up at 6 out of 13. So they definitely cooled off.
Well, for sure, no? I mean, sorry guys, I got muted there, but yeah, for
okay,
sure. I mean, the Chiba Jets were, you know, they started like a house on fire from beyond the arc, making 4 of their first 5 3-pointers, but they cooled off a little bit into that second quarter, and that's, you know, the time when Utsunomiya made their own run as well. And like what Thirdy said, what he emphasized, that inside scoring of Utsunomiya, they're +14 in the paint. That could be maybe the differentiating factor between these two teams. No? If Chiba isn't careful and they don't check that along with the rebounding, then Utsunomiya, we saw it in Game 2, Utsunomiya has the potential, has the explosiveness to be able to break this game open.
Thirdy, nabibigla ka ba dito sa numbers na pinakita rin natin sa ating mga viewers? Turnovers, 4 lang para sa Brex, 5 lang para dito sa Jets.
Yes, sir, Anthony. Those are very low numbers. And just like what I said kanina, yun nga talaga yung pagka-importansya ng each possession in this game. So both teams are really taking care of the ball, making sure they make the right decisions. So those turnovers are going to be very crucial, especially in the second half.
That's great camera work from our friends in the B-League. As you can see, pinakita sa atin yung buong stadium at katulad na pag-usapan natin kanina, hati doon sa may gitna. Sa isang panig, lahat nakapula. Sa kabila, lahat naman nakadilaw. So, it has been split right down the middle here at the Yokohama Arena. And as we enter the second half, tabla po tayo 35. Let's see sino ang mag-uuwi ng titulo sa gabing ito. Welcome to game number 3 of the NISSAY B.LEAGUE Finals 2020-2021. Anthony Suntay here together with Enzo Flojo and Thirdy Ravena. Try to get away inside. Not gonna work. And Sato thought he had a chance there.
Well, there you go. No, that's not technically a turnover, I think, because I'm not sure if there was actually a shot there. But
there was a shot
definitely, yeah, the Chiba Jets need better execution offensively to be able to stem the tide, because the momentum, again, is on the side of Utsunomiya right now.
Rossiter, up against the East, will give it up. Babalik sa kanya, Rossiter. Trying to be aggressive, falling away, using the glass, will miss. Duncan with the rebound, Togashi. Ngayon, antay niya para kompleto daw sila, para 5 sila sa kanilang ofensiba. Gives it up to Hara. Now to Duncan. Back to Togashi. And Endo's going to be called for a personal there. Knocking down Shutahara. Not quite sure if that was Endo or natapilok siya dun sa...
Oh nga, I'm not sure in that replay what exactly Endo did that qualified for a foul. Maybe the ref felt there was a bit of a shove from behind, but it wasn't very, very apparent or obvious from that replay angle right there.
Well, nevertheless, he will take the foul and he will now take a seat. Togashi to the wing. Duncan hits a 3.
Ayan na. When someone like Josh Duncan starts hitting those threes for the Chiba Jets, you know you're in a little bit of trouble right now.
And you know that shooting percentages are going the way of the Chiba Jets. Lahat na sila nakakatira ng tres. Halos lahat na pinasok dito ni Coach Ono. Nakapasok na isang tres. Going inside once again, Scott. And a foul will be called on Duncan. He doesn't like it.
Oh no, I'm not sure why he's complaining. I'm not sure he was completely vertical in that particular play when he challenged that shot. A good pass, by the way, to find Josh Scott right there in the right under the basket. There was a lot of body in that sequence, yeah.
Third personal foul, but Coach Ono says stay in there, at least for the time being. Do you think that's a good strategy, Thirdy?
Excuse me, Sir Anthony?
Do you think that's a good strategy, keeping him in there, kahit na may 3 personal foul siya?
Yeah. Right now, he's pretty much walking on eggshells. Talagang hindi siya makaka-play ng 100% defense. Kasi nga, he has 3 fouls. But let's see how it turns out. I mean, he just knocked a 3-point shot, and let's see if that opens up the lane for Chiba.
Baka yun nga sinasabi ni Coach Ono, mukhang mainit si Duncan. Iwan muna natin ang bahagya. Trying to push it forward. They wait for the troops. Ikaruga to Peak. Peak makes his move, explodes. Look at those extra passes. Defense scrambling. And a missed shot there for Hijima.
Everything but the shot lang, no? They traded good shots for better shots, but Hijima just could not knock it down. Sayang yun.
Still a 1-point lead enjoyed here by Chiba. Togashi. Maghahanap ng pwesto. Falling away on that one. Saiz with the offensive rebound.
Someone's got to box out Saiz. He's the #1 rebounder here for Chiba. He doesn't have a lot of rebounds yet, but you don't want to give him many chances to do so.
Duncan misfires on that 15-foot shot. He might be replaced. Shannon Shorter has been sent to the official stable. Ikaruga. Bounce pass finds Rossiter. Rossiter scores.
Good pocket pass to Ikaruga. Has been playing splendidly in this game. And dare I say, I think he's even outplaying Yuki Togashi right now. So that's a big lift for Coach Anzai's Utsunomiya Brex squad.
Hara. Tres. Boy, that was too strong. Trying to catch them off. Here's Rossiter.
Yun na.
Back-to-back baskets by Ryan Rossiter. He's got 7 points in the contest. At lamang na ng 3 ang Utsunomiya Brex. Back to the action here. 6:32 remaining in the third period. Pumasok na nga si Shorter. Siya ang may tangan ng bola. Using that Sai's pick. Sai sa may labas. Pumasok na rin si Gavin Edwards. Inside. Miss there from Hara.
Oh, that's third foul.
That might turn out to be a good foul because it looks like Hiyajima was on his way to a layup.
Yeah, and that shot, it went in, but it's not going to count for Hijima. But I'm not sure if it's the third foul already for Togashi, just the second. I'm not sure.
Yun lang siguro magiging problema. Well, ang fans ng Brex asking for an unsportsmanlike foul, and looks like they're going to review this one. Thirdy, how much of a change was it for you with the FIBA rules dito sa B.LEAGUE?
Para sa akin, it's halos kaparehas niya naman yung UAAP rules natin kasi nga UAAP is doing the FIBA rules din. So, para sa akin, it wasn't as hard to adjust. Pero yung mga ganitong tawag, most often than not, itatawag talaga nila yan, especially in the B.LEAGUE, lalo na pag open. So, that's gonna hurt Chiba kasi nga, first half pa lang, wala na si Yuki because of foul trouble. And this turns out to be an unsportsmanlike foul. That could be then that's gonna be a big factor for them.
Yeah, that's huge.
Let's see if that really swings it in their favor. Talking about Brex, lamang na nga sila ng tatlo. They're gonna have 2 free throws here, plus ball possession.
And Togashi has been having a pretty bad game actually. That's foul number 3 on him. It's an unsportsmanlike foul. He only has 3 points, shooting 1 out of 4 from the field. He hasn't contributed much to Chiba, and with this development, you're giving Utsunomiya a golden opportunity to make this 2, maybe even a 3 possession ball game at this juncture in the second half.
Split there by Hiyajima on the free throw line. Magiging 4 ang kalamangan Utsunomiya Brex. Kaso lang, nasa kanila pa rin ang bola. But if it's any consolation, maganda naman ang pinapakita ni Fumio Nishimura para sa koponan ng Chiba Jets. Let's see if he can continue his stellar play. Outside, Hiyajima for 3. Short. Hiyajima has had his chances. He has been open.
But I still like what Coach Anzai is doing here. Yeah, I'm sure Hijima's a little bit frustrated, but Coach Anzai clearly has trust in Hijima. He's probably told him, you have the green light. I don't care if you're shooting 1 out of 9, 1 out of 8. If you feel it's your shot, you take it.
Thirdy, gaano ka-importante sa isang player na alam mo na yung coach mo is backing you all the way. He has all that confidence to leave you in the ballgame.
Well, Sir Anthony, I think that's the most important part, especially as a scorer, as being a main guy in a team like Makoto Hiyajima. Once you get the trust from the coach, everything else follows. Alam mong may green light ka and he's fine with it, so that's gonna be lighter on your part when you take shots na hindi mo na iniisip kung magagalit yung coach or yung hindi.
Let's see if that is the case. Para kay Makoto, he does stay inside. Another fault in play. 5:35 remaining dito sa ating third period. Ang mananalo po ng ating game number 3 makakapag-uwi ng titulo dito sa B-League para sa taong ito. Will it be Utsunomiya? Will it be Chiba? Malalaman po natin yan. Ko Flippin, nakabalik na. Flippin has not really scored, but he has really shown the desire to get those rebounds. Hiyajima picks up another personal.
That's number 3 on him, Anthony, and 30. So I think that was a really reckless foul on Makoto Hijima. I know it was a mismatch, but he shouldn't have, he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar, kumbaga. It's not a good foul.
At the same time, may help defense naman doon sa may likuran. Enzo, kung tutusin mo. He was not on an island. Shorter gets away.
And Shorter just fighting to get that shot in. Just keeping Chiba within striking distance. Just a one-possession game right now in the third quarter.
Peak. Hands it off. Iejima gives it up. Peak for three. Short.
They're setting up their shooters well, Utsunomiya, but they're just not knocking it down.
Shorter. Tries to go inside. Edwards. That's a nice matchup against Scott. He gets blocked.
Wow.
Off in the break. Rossiter. Forward. Gets it back.
Nice. So that's how you run a break, no? Good pass back to Rossiter from Makoto Heijima. Good two-man game between those two guys. And if you're a Japanese basketball fan, that's what you can hope to see when these two guys suit up for the national team really, really soon.
Saiz almost lost possession.
Bukas na naman.
Three. Doesn't work for Nishimura. Flippin. Thought about it. Peak with the save. No. He stepped on the sideline.
You like the hustle though from LJ Peak, not allowing Gavin Edwards to fully maximize that mismatch on the low block. No? Mas mabuti nang matap out mo yung bola, have a chance for your defense to set up rather than deal with that mismatch right there.
Sort of a lazy pass also from Ko Flippin.
Yeah.
LJ Peak will be given a rest. Ang bilis na rotation na ginagawa talaga ni Coach Anzai. Yes, Jeff Gibbs back in there together with Hironori Watanabe.
Si Watanabe, medyo wala pang napapakita dito, Anthony and Thirdy, but this is a guy who doesn't need a lot of shots. As long as he gets one or two open looks, he can make a big impact on the game.
Shorter. Misfires. Play on, they say. Gavin Edwards gets that and slams it through.
And that's what Gavin Edwards brings to the table. A lot of energy and hustle, especially on the offensive glass. And just like that, the Chiba Jets are still not out of this one. We have a ball game.
Rossiter asking for the pick. Gets it there from Gibbs. And Gibbs, matatawagan. It looked like he did get there a little bit late.
Yeah. I think that's what the referee saw exactly, Anthony, yung timing nitong pag-screen ni Josh Gibbs at yung hip niya, yung hip action niya. Yun yata yung nakita ng referee in that sequence.
Only the first personal foul para kay Jeff Gibbs. But more importantly, Chiba ang may opensiba rito. Dalawang kanilang hinahabol. Flippin picks up his dribble, gives it to Edwards. Edwards attacks. Almost a strip.
Collapsing defense.
Flippin hits.
Wow. I'm definitely sure that was not the shot they tried to manufacture, but they'll take it anyway. We have a tied game right now.
They give him a long two. He stepped on the line. Tabla po tayo sa 44. Only the fifth deadlock of this ball game. Rossiter apologizes. May konting gigil dun.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic. Usually Rossiter makes, very good decisions on the floor, but in that particular sequence, because he picked up his dribble and he was in the lane already, he felt that the best decision was to just chuck up the ball and hope for the best. Unfortunately, he hit nothing but air in that sequence.
First entry para kay Kosuke Takeuchi, isa sa mga veterano dito ng Brex squad together with Kai Taves. Flippin. Inside, Duncan nakabalik na. He's nursing three personal fouls. Edwards brings it closer. No call. Agaw. Edwards puts it through.
Wow. Grabe ang sipag nitong si Gavin Edwards, He got stopped on his first drive to the basket, just not giving up on the play, getting the basketball again for a repossession, rising up to make the basket, chance for a three-point play.
What a wild sequence there, leading to that timeout. We'll be back for more action in the B-League final in just a bit. Mga 2 minuto na lang natitira ito sa ating third period. It's been a good final. It's been a great game number 3 between Utsunomiya Brex at ng Chiba Jets. Anthony Suntay po, together with Enzo Flojo and Thirdy Ravena para sa huling laban ng B-League season for 2020-2021. Gavin Edwards on the line for an extra free throw here. Trying to give his team a little bit more daylight. Can't get it to happen though. Takeuchi tracks it down. Daves ngayon. Dave did well in the sparing minutes na binigay sa kanya. Endo kicks it out. Takeuchi. Shot clock down to 6. Daves, does he realize it? Yes, he does. Puts up that 3. Edwards with the rebound.
Good defense by Chiba right there. Good job switching on those ball screens. Just covering the shooters. Wow.
Pinilit ni Shorter. Pumasok.
And that's what good defense can do. No? Good defense can lead to strong offense as well. No? And that's what we're seeing from Chiba right here. Their energy, their hustle on both ends of the floor. That's one big reason they've retaken the lead.
Endo hits that 3. Cuts that lead right back to 1. Alam mo, Thirdy, I was about to ask you, yung momentum ba pumupunta na sa Chiba tapos biglang pumamada ng 3 ang Utsunomiya Brex?
Yeah, Sir Anthony, yun nga yung maganda dito sa series na to. Especially when you think na one team's gonna make a run, hindi magpapatalo yung isang team. So it's very enjoyable to watch this game, especially watching these two teams battle it out.
Shorter for 3. No. Takeuchi with the rebound. Daves, nagmamadali. Gets away, but there's a block there from Edwards.
Great hustle on
Edwards
defense by Gavin Edwards. So si Edwards talaga, Anthony and Thirdy, he's been the guy carrying this team. Talking about the Chiba Jets in the second half. His energy, his inability to give up on any play, just going for those blocks and those rebounds and those loose balls. All those things put together have enabled his team to get back and even take the lead in the third quarter.
Foul itatawag kay Takeuchi dun. Hinawakan niya si Duncan. And unfortunately for Brex, go ahead, Enzo.
That was a useless foul from Takeuchi. Minsan na lang ang maglaro si Takeuchi in this series, no? And he gives up a foul pa away from the basketball at that, no? And giving a chance for Duncan and the Jets to score with the clock not moving.
Uncharacteristic para sa kanya dahil veterano nga si Takeuchi of not just in Japanese basketball locally but also of international ball. Duncan's gonna take advantage here. Makes the first. Second's gonna drop. Balik na naman sa tatlo ang kalamangan dito para sa Chiba Jets. Daves looking for space. Finds Scott. Now they go to Endo. Pocket pass works. Scott gives it back out. Endo for 3. Bang!
Wow. And Yusuke Endo has been the fireman here for the Utsunomiya Brex. I think that's his 3rd triple already of this game. He's in double digits. Stepping up big time on the big stage here at the B-League Finals.
Tabla na naman tayo. Almost a steal. Shorter controls. Threading the needle doesn't work. And how fitting is it, gentlemen? Papasok tayo sa 4th and final quarter. The final quarter of the B-League season. We're tied at 50. This is game number 3 of the B-League Finals for 2020-2021. And welcome to the fourth and final quarter. Ito ang ating game number 3 between Utsunomiya Brex at ng Chiba Jets for the NISSAY B.LEAGUE Finals 2020-21. Anthony Suntay with the call together with Enzo Flojo and Thirdy Ravena. Malalaman na po natin in 10 minutes of game time sino ang mag-uuwi ng titulo para sa taong ito. Trying to find Scott inside. A foul is going to be called previous to that.
That's going to be in Gavin Edwards, Anthony. That's only his first foul, so that's not a big red flag for the Chiba Jets right now. But we'll see, no? I mean, I love the fact we're tied to start the final quarter, and we'll see which team really wants it more.
Three for Hiyajima. Comes up short. Tingnan natin kung pipilitin ulit niya. He will try and he will head to the line for 2 free throws.
Ito naman ang gusto mo kay Hijima, no? Parang he doesn't quit on himself, no? He bets on himself. Even if he's not having the best shooting night, he knows his team is depending on him, so he's gonna do what he needs to do to help his team offensively. But that opportunity came about because of the offensive rebounding again of the Brex, no? And they're winning that battle right now. I think they're +7 in terms of rebounding, and I'm going to stand by that, Anthony and Thirdy. If the Brex continue to win that battle of the rebounds, I think they're going to be the one ending up with a trophy at the end of this game. So we'll see.
Are you surprised, Thirdy? Hindi maganda yung nilalaro ni Makoto Hiyajima, but he already has 10 points, including that free throw.
Well, yun nga, just like what you said, Sir Anthony, he bets on himself. So talagang makikita mo kung sino yung mga players na ready to rise to the occasion. Just like Makoto Hiyajima, as you can see, even though nahihirapan siya makashoot, he's still taking it strong regardless. So that's why he has 12 points right now.
Dalawa ang kalamangan na Utsunomiya Brex. This is gonna go down the wire, gentlemen. Nako, yun ang inaasahan natin, and it looks like bibibiyain tayo ng basketball gods. Duncan's gonna miss that 3. Battle for the rebound once again. Saiz, no, that's shorter there, battling. Babalik ang bola sa Utsunomiya Brex.
If you're Coach Ono, you love the fact that your guys are battling for those rebounds because they need to. They need to close the gap in that rebounding battle. Utsunomiya is just dominating the back of the boards right now in Game 3.
Dave stays inside together with Hiyajima in the backcourt. Jeff Gibbs carving out space.
Power move.
Oh, kinalabaw na lang, Thirds, no? Para old school 80s, 90s style basketball lang yung ginagawa ni Jeff Gibbs dun, eh.
Para talaga siyang Charles Barkley, Sir Enzo.
Balik sa 4 ang kalamangan ng Utsunomiya Brex. That is their biggest lead.
Mismatch.
Shorter gets away.
There you go. Credit to Shorter for recognizing that mismatch. Scott was on him. He knew he could blow by Scott, and that's exactly what he did.
So na, pipilitin na naman ni Gibbs, but he gives it up. Taves up against Nishimura. Shot clock's at 6.
Good pass.
Extra pass. Ikaruga falling away. Will miss. Edwards with the rebound.
I thought that was a bad decision from Ikaruga. I thought he should have just, you know, shot the ball after that good pass actually from Gibbs.
Nishimura almost lost it. Got it back. Nishimura. 3. Masyado na malakas. Shorter with defensive rebound. Brand new 14 seconds. Sabi ni Shorter, ako na. Gives it up. Edwards thought about it. Gets away inside. Will miss. Duncan, lumalaban sa loob.
And that's what
What
Coach
a battle
Ono wants
inside.
to see. Yeah, I mean that's what Chiba fans want to see. You know, their guys battling for those rebounds. Shorter, hustling for that offensive rebound the first time, and then Josh Duncan, right place, right time. And even if the 4 guys are collapsing on him, he just goes up strong and gets the foul.
Wala na siyang espasyo dun. And here comes Yuki Togashi, and why not? It's now or never. 3 fouls or not. Binalik na siya ni Coach Ono.
Well, Togashi probably told Coach Ono, I have 3 fouls, yes, but you're not gonna sit me the last 7 minutes of Game 3 in my 3rd B-League final stint. No? Togashi, if they're gonna win this game, win or lose, he wants to be on the floor for his team.
Numbers have not been good here for Togashi. 3 puntos pa lang, but he does have 3 assists. Duncan has done his job. Here comes Saiz. Isa ang lamang ng Utsunomiya. Almost 3 minutes gone here in the 4th and final period. And fittingly, binalik na rin si Ryan Rossiter. Rossiter thought about it. Door shut in there by Edwards. That's gonna be a kick ball, they say, and Flippin. Flippin was saying nandun lang yung kanyang paa, hindi raw niya inangat. Officials say otherwise.
Sayang yun, no? Because I thought Chiba was actually playing good team defense in that sequence. I think the shot clock was down to only 4 seconds na lang, so sayang.
That would have been a breakaway layup also for Chiba Jets. Rossiter!
Wow.
Trademark. That's his favorite.
Swabing gumalaw talaga to si Ryan Rossiter. He's given his lead another 3-point lead. Anong gagawin ni Togashi? Up against Rossiter. He's got the speed advantage and takes advantage of that.
Good recognition. He knew that Rossiter just doesn't have the quickness, the burst of speed that he does. And that's exactly what Togashi exploits. Easy dip. That's what he needs to be able to get going, get back into his rhythm in this game.
MVP of 2018-2019 season wants to come up big here in the 4th period.
Mismatch
Rossiter will come up short. Saiz grabs that rebound. Not a very good foul there by Peak.
Rossiter had the mismatch there, but I felt like maybe he could have just drove or barreled his way to the basket instead of settling for that pull-up jumper over Togashi. No?
So they are coming up short. Isa ang hinahabol ng Chiba Jets. Balik sila kay Togashi. He'll give it up. They swing it to the opposite side. Togashi finds some space.
Nice.
Floater. No. Rossiter with the rebound.
Thought that was a good shot for Yuki. Just could not knock it down.
Well, he found the seam. Rossiter asking for a pick. Now will attack. Up against Saiz. Falling away. Rattles out.
Sayang. May pagka-Dirk Nowitzki yung move na yun from Ryan Rossiter. Almost made it too.
Approaching the halfway mark no ating final period. Flippin. Edwards. Togashi. Bounce pass finds Edwards. There's a block. But 2 free throws coming up here for Gavin Edwards.
Good setup job right there by Yuki Togashi. That dynamic dual connection, Togashi to Edwards, wreaking havoc in that sequence, and no choice for Josh Scott but help late and just give up that foul.
Exactly 5 minutes ang natitira sa ating laro. An official timeout is what we have. We'll be back for the finish in just a bit. At nagbabalik po tayo dito sa Yokohama Arena para sa huling 5 minuto ng game number 3 between the Brex and the Jets for the B-League Championship. We have a great sized crowd here. 4,785 have packed Yokohama Arena. Pataas ng pataas yung ating mga numero. In game number 1, there was 4,678. Game number 2, 4,700 fans. At ngayon, 4,785. Nagpapasalamat po kami lahat sa inyo. Following us here in the B-League, and she's praying for her Chiba Jets.
So Gavin Edwards hitting both shots. Big shots for Gavin Edwards. And this is the game we wanted to see, Anthony and Thirdy. Seesaw battle, back and forth basketball, entering the deep waters the last 5 minutes of the season.
Si Thirdy ang swerte natin. First 2 games, wala si Thirdy, tambakan. Ngayon, it's close. Here's Flippin. Passes it over to Gashi. Gets that to drop.
Wow. Man, I thought that was a good pass from Flippin. And good job finishing that fast break for Yuki Togashi. And oh man, he's really playing with a chip on his shoulder right now. Really wants to give Chiba their first ever B-League title.
Banging body. Shorter's gonna pick up that personal. Laban kay Peak. That 3 points is a luxury for either squad.
Yeah.
Biggest lead of the ball game para sa Brex was 4.
The
Biggest
3
lead of the
points
ball game
feels
para
like
sa Chiba 10.
Feels like mga 8 points na siguro yan, Anthony, at this juncture in the game, eh, no?
Tama. 4:18 ang natitira.
If I'm the Brex, I want to get Peak involved a little bit more on offense. He's been a bit of a non-factor after scoring 7 points in that first half.
Especially in the first period, he started very well. Endo, long 2, bang!
Wow. This guy's been stepping up for Utsunomiya. Yusuke Endo. Already, I think, 11 points, if I'm not mistaken, or 13 points.
He's got 13.
Yeah.
Shorter. Pocket pass. Finds Edwards for an easy 2. Shorter with the assist. Gavin with the layup. And it's a 3-point lead once again enjoyed by Chiba as we approach the final 3 minutes, 47 seconds. Nice look there at Yuta Tabuse on the bench, giving moral support to his Utsunomiya Brex. Just too bad we're not going to be able to see him in action. Ito po ang huling laban ng B-League para sa season na to. And you can see all the fans inside Yokohama Arena. Hati po yung stadium. Kalahati pula, kalahati dilaw. 61-58 is our tally. 3:47 remaining. At malalaman na po natin kung sino ang magiging kampiyon sa taong ito.
At mukhang wala nang tinatago dito si Coach Anza at saka si Coach Ono. I think both teams have pretty much their best possible lineups on the floor already. We'll see who has stronger desire to get this title in Game 3.
Endo, 3! It falls to Kosuke. He can't put it through.
Oh, that's a good foul.
Makoto Hijima had a chance there.
Oh man, that's on Hijima. That's number 4 on him.
Here comes Ryan Rossiter. They need his leadership. Still a 3-point lead enjoyed by Chiba. Big possession para sa kanila. And you want the ball in the hands of your main man, Togashi. Gives it up, Saiz. Right back, Togashi for 3! Big rebound naman para kay Ryan Rossiter.
And that 3 would have brought the house down if Togashi hit that.
Half the house.
Half the house down.
Endo. Extra pass. That's not gonna work. And then foul down low is gonna be called there on Jeff Gibbs.
And I think they're in penalty already, talking about the Brex, no? So I think, I'm not sure, but I think Chiba will be shooting free throws already.
Yes, they will. Nasa penalty na nga sila. Tama sabi mo, Enzo.
Definitely not a good sign for the Utsunomiya Brex. They're down by 3, nagahabol ka. And actually, Chiba has started out-rebounding Utsunomiya already. Chiba now has 31 rebounds by my count, while Utsunomiya with 30 rebounds. So Chiba in prime position right now with 2:35 to go to make this a 2-possession ball game, strengthen their chances of pocketing their first ever B-League title.
Thirdy, when it comes to the end game situations katulad nito, ano pumapasok sa isip mo when you head to the free throw line?
Actually, Sir Anthony, parang tahimik na lang sa akin yun pag yung mga ganyang sitwasyon, especially last few minutes of a finals game. Wala ka nang maririnig yan. So I think it's really just you in the rim at that point and just you making the basket and just sticking to your routine.
So you're able to really block it all out. That time, Gavin Edwards misses on that second.
Missed golden opportunities right there for Edwards. No, instead of making it a 4 or 5 point game, we're back to a 1-possession game.
Hijima wants to take matters into his own hands, up against Flippin. Hijima shaking, baking.
Wow.
Bangs it through.
Man, he's a baller. He's a baller, Makoto Hijima. I don't care if I'm shooting a 3 out of 10 or 3 out of 11 from the field. I have the basketball. It's the big moment in Game 3. I'm going to take this shot.
And Cole Flippin was all over him. Shorter rattles that one in.
Wow. What a response naman from Shannon Shorter on the other end, giving Chiba another 3-point edge. Less than 2 minutes to go in this game.
Wow.
Ang sakit niyan, Thirdy. Look at that.
That's his
and that might be it.
Yeah.
Man.
That is tough. Mabigat yan, Sir Anthony, Sir Enzo.
Oh, man.
Tignan natin ulit sa replay, and Thirdy, as we go through this replay, tell me what your thoughts are. Hopefully we have a replay.
I wasn't able to quite catch that.
Neither did I. I just saw them bang bodies. Yeah. At bumagsak na lang si Flippin. That's why I would have wanted to see that again, but we're not gonna see it. But balik tayo sa live action. That could be the biggest call of this final.
Yeah, that could be a big turning point.
Company could score here. Togashi. 4 seconds, puts it up. Saiz didn't realize hindi tumama sa ring.
A good defensive stand right there by the Utsunomiya Brex. No, I mean they gave up the drive to Togashi, but when he missed it, they were able to collapse like 3 or 4 guys around the basket and contest for that rebound.
There's see a Jim on your screens. He's done for the day. Tatlo ang hinahabol ng Brex. They can erase that with just one shot. Shot clock down to 9. Rossiter for the tie. Rims out.
Could have been huge.
Flippin'.
Could have been huge.
Enco flipping with another crucial rebound. Gagamit ng oras. She's shorter. They gotta make their move now. Shot clock at 7. Long 2. Edwards. No, that's Saiz with a tip in.
Man. Oh, like I told you guys, Joakim Noah. That's his game. Sebastian Saiz with a repossession and then the quick putback. I think, I don't want to call it yet, but 5-point lead with less than 40 seconds to go. Chiba's looking good right now. Chiba's looking good for Game 3.
Let's hold on to the air here as we talk to both our panelists, Enzo Flojo and Thirdy Ravena. Thirdy, sa tingin mo ba dito sa 38 seconds, medyo lamang na ang Chiba Jets?
Well, Sir Anthony, it might seem na wala ng oras, but 38 seconds is a lot of time for Utsunomiya to be able to make a basket and then probably foul and try to make another one. So we'll see how this goes, but that's still a lot of time.
Enzo, 38.4 seconds. They can actually go for a quick basket and maybe not even foul if you really look at it.
Yeah.
But again, they could also do 30's route, which is try to extend the ball game and try to foul a little bit. So napakaraming mga pwedeng gawin nitong si Coach Anzay.
Well, for me, it really will come down to these next 2 possessions. No, these next 2 possessions will really determine, I think, the complexion of the dying seconds of this game. They need to make a basket here next, and if they can't make a stop, then you have to give up a foul in the next defensive sequence. Talking about the Utsunomiya Brex, but again, these next 2 possessions are going to be extremely critical for Coach Anzay and his squad.
Will Utsunomiya get their second title, or will Chiba Jets finally break through with their first championship? 38.4 seconds ang natitira. Dangerous pass. Scott, even that one. Just getting past the half-court line. Tres para kay Endo. And that just might be it.
Man. And you know,
Endo was open.
That wasn't a bad shot for him. For someone like him, he's hit, I think, 3 triples already in this game. He's the guy, if you're a Brex fan, he's the guy you want taking that open 3. They just didn't knock it down. And that's been the story for the Brex for most of this game. They had their shots, just could not knock them down.
Foul's gonna be called. 2 free throws coming up. Ito na, yung binabanggit nga ni Thirdy. Free throw contest begins. And Chiba can shoot their way from the 15-foot line to a championship.
They're not out of the woods yet. I mean, these free throws, at least one of these free throws has to be made by Shorter. There you go.
If he puts in the second, it's going to be a 3-possession ball game. And the fans of Chiba Jets starting to taste it. Nilabas si Togashi, pinasok si Hara for defensive purposes. Shorter makes both. They need a quick score. Rossiter, 3. And that could be it.
That's it. I think that could be it.
Scott inside. At nanigurado si Coach Ono. Calling this timeout. 17.5 seconds remain before Chiba possibly wraps up their first championship.
I think right now, Anthony and Thirdy, it's just a matter of, because I'm sure the Brex, they're going to play for a steal on the inbounds, but if Chiba gets the ball inside the court successfully, then it's going to be a free throw shooting game. And Chiba just needs one free throw. One or at least one to make it a really, really difficult prospect for the Brex to get back in this game.
Thirdy, mukhang miracle na kailangan talaga ng Utsunomiya rito.
Mukha nga, Sir Anthony, pero hindi natin pwedeng sabihin na tapos na. I mean, bilog ang bola and a lot of things can happen. So let's see how this last 17.5 seconds pans out for the Game 3 of the B.LEAGUE Finals.
I have seen a lot of strange things happen with even less time on that clock. So let's see. Pero nakita mo yung mga fans ng Brex, they know medyo dehado na sila, but sabi mo nga, Thirdy, bilog ang bola. Tignan natin. At for Chiba, unti-unti na. Sabi na, oh, yung 2 taon na nabigo tayo, baka ito na. The 3rd time just might be the charm.
If I'm the Brex here, I'm going to put a lot of pressure on that inbounder. And we'll see what happens.
Togashi back in. They find Shorter. And Shorter will be fouled.
Well, the Brex, what they opted to do was put a lot of pressure on the ball receivers instead of the passer in that sequence, giving up the foul. A lot of pressure right now on Shorter for these free throws.
Well, he made 2 earlier. Babalik na naman si Hara. Offensive, defensive substitution ang ginagawa. Peak's gonna come in for Gibbs. That's a good substitution because LJP can hit that 3 much more than Jeff Gibbs can, though he's hit a few this season.
But LJP at the same time, he's really faded as this game has gone on. He's been a non-factor, and I think Shorter made the first one, so it's still a 2-possession game. But for the Brex, they need 2 triples right now just to tie this game up. Big free throw right here. He makes it.
Balik na naman sa 3-possession game. They need a quick score. Rossiter short. And that's gonna go over to Chiba. And that should be it.
That's pretty much it. Yes, you're right, Anthony. Those free throws by Shorter, that missed shot by Rossiter, those are, I think, the last nails on the coffin for the Utsunomiya Brex.
And they're not even gonna foul. They will, though, at the last second. 4.2 ang natitira.
And if you're Yuki
and it
Togashi,
looks like, gentlemen, the long wait's gonna be over.
Yeah, if you're Yuki Togashi, how sweet this could feel, you know. He's been in the finals for 2 seasons past, lost both times to the Toyota Albark squad, 3rd time's the charm for Togashi and the Chiba Jets. And what a way to end your B.LEAGUE season, and then what a way to start your national team season, no, for Yuki Togashi.
Binanda pa yun, Thirdy.
There you go.
And the Chiba Jets, ang kampiyon para sa B.LEAGUE for 2020-2021. After falling short twice, the 3rd time is a charm. So the bridesmaids have now become the bride.
I mean, what a run for the Chiba Jets. We've been talking about this team playing with a chip on their shoulders. They came out of Game 1 the much stronger, hungrier team. They got blown out in Game 2, but what a way to bounce back in Game 3. Win it 71-62. Getting their first ever franchise championship in the B.LEAGUE. How sweet it is for this Chiba Jets squad.
Thirdy, start to take this in para eventually ikaw naman na i-cover namin ni Enzo.
Yan na.
Nakakapag-celebrate ng ganyan.
hopefully Sir Anthony and Sir Enzo, got a lot to work on, but it's not impossible. So, sana.
A lot of questions here for Yuta Tabuse.
Yeah.
Kung babalik pa siya para sa isa pang season. He is 40 years old.
Yeah. Well, Yuta Tabuse, no matter what happens, he's going to go down as one of the greatest Japanese basketball players of all time. You know, breaking barriers, opening doors in a very similar way, Thirdy, to what you did this season. No? By going to the B.LEAGUE, you've opened a lot of doors. And that's what Yuta Tabuse did many years ago, opening doors for a lot of Japanese players as well.
Yep. Pero sa NBA yata yun, Sir Flojo, so...
Yeah, it's a little bit of a different context, but...
just a little bit. But yeah, very happy.
But definitely, you know, Thirdy, you're a trailblazer. Pakinggan muna natin. Ito si Gavin Edwards.
Every year, and I'm just not only happy for us as the players, but the fans. They fought for us the last 3 years since I've been here. Organization, we fought so hard, and it feels so good to finally get it.
この3年間、本当にファイナルに3度連続で挑戦して、いつもこの勝利を逃してしまっていたので、もちろん選手として自分も本当にとても嬉しく思いますが、ファンの皆さん、そして組織の皆さん、ここまで3年間応援していただいて本当にありがとうございます。
激しいインサイドの勝負の中で今日15ポイント、逆転の得点も決めました。どんなことを意識して今日プレーされたんでしょうか。どんなことを意識してプレーされたんでしょうか。
I just wanted to fight inside. I knew it was going to be a physical game, and I felt like that was the difference in the first game when we won. So I just wanted to fight and just give it my all.
もちろんインサイドで激しくなる試合だとは分かっていたのですが、ゲーム1とゲーム2の違いはそこだと思っていたので、しっかりインサイドで激しく戦おうという意識を持ってまいりました。
おめでとうございました。
ありがとうございます。
続いて
Well, a big 15 points, gentlemen, there para kay Gavin Edwards coming off the bench. We talked about that. At sinasabi natin, mas importante ba na yung isa sa mga pinakamahusay mong players starts or comes off the bench? At pinakita ni Gavin Edwards coming off the bench, he was a spark.
Well, he definitely stepped up. Now, talking about Gavin Edwards, he's been maybe the most consistent player for the Chiba Jets in this entire series, and he's maybe the biggest reason they're taking that trophy home to Chiba tonight.
はい、もう本当にこのチーム全員の誇りに思います。
Ito naman, yung kanilang starting point guard, 2018-2019 MVP, Yuki Togashi, finally getting his first championship.
いやもう今日はもう本当に自分ではなくもうチームの勝利のために自分ができ
And
る
you
ことを
really have
考
to
え
feel,
それを本当にできた
so
と思います
happy
し
for Yuki Togashi.
本当に
This is a guy
こ
who
の皆さんの
has
お
worked
かげで本当にここに
so
今いれると思
hard
う
to
ので
get where he
こうやっ
is.
て
He's
宇都宮のブ
overcome
ースター
so
も
many hurdles,
皆さんも
and
こう
you
やっ
know
て集まっ
right
てく
now
れて
he's the
こ
king
ん
of
な
the
本当に厳
mountain.
しい
He's on
中で
top
こういうふうに
of
も
the
うファイ
B.LEAGUE
ナルまで
together with the
で
other
きたことが
Chiba
本当に
Jets.
良かったかなと思います。
Well, they call Yuki Togashi the $1 million man because of his $1 million salary.
いや本当にキャプテンとしての仕事っていうのは本当に全然できてないと
Ang
思うんです
sinabi
け
ni
ど
Yuki, first of all, is he's proud of
優
this
勝でき
team.
たこともそれ全てだと思うので
Ang inisip lang daw niya kung paano daw siya makakatulong sa kanyang koponan at natutuwa nga siya na nakuha nila yung panalo. He said it was a tough season, but the fans of Chiba and Utsunomiya have come and supported their teams all throughout at pinasalamatan niya yung mga fans ng dalawang koponan.
And what a journey for Togashi. You know, Anthony and Thirdy, Togashi actually, he finished high school in the States many years ago, and he was hoping to break into the US NCAA Division I. But when he didn't get any offers, came back to Japan, worked on his game, made it to the professional leagues, and toiled, paid his dues, became an MVP in 2019, and now he's a champion. He's a B.LEAGUE champion.
Kanina nakita natin si Kai Taves, who did play in the NCAA for a Division 1 squad, and he's back here showcasing his wares sa Japan.
And Togashi, he's going to be such an inspiring role model for a lot of young Japanese growing up who want to play the game. The message he's unconsciously sending right now is, you don't have to be as big or as athletic as Ayuta Watanabe or Rui Hachimura to become a champion in Japanese basketball. At 5'6", I mean, he's not a prototypical basketball player, but he contributes in so many ways, finds so many ways to make an impact for his team. Such an inspiring story for, Japanese basketball fans everywhere.
Ito na ang ating awarding ceremony. Finally, makukuha na ng Chiba Jets yung matagal na nilang pinagdadasal, ang titulo.
Wow. Is that a 50 million check?
Yes. Yes, it is.
That's 25 million pesos.
Yeah, I know about you, but that's a lot of dough. That's a lot of bread, Thirds.
Yeah, you and me both, no.
Pwede natin paghatian tatlo yan.
Oo.
Pwede Shinji Shimada.
Binibilang ko nga kung ilan yung player ng ilan yung player ng Jets Parang wala pang 25 yan So, man.
Maganda-ganda yung hatian nila.
Oo. Maganda-gandang gising to bukas ng umaga para sa Chiba Jets.
Pero yun ang tanong paghahatian ba nila yung cheque na yan o mapupunta sa kupunan nila? Kasi sabi ng kupunan, pinabayaran ko naman kayo Sabi ng team owner, akin ito.
Ayun lang.
Oh man, that trophy, lifting it for Yuki Togashi, that's gotta feel so good for him after so much adversity these past few years.
And this must be really special para kay Shinji Shimada. He's actually the chairman of the B.LEAGUE. Siya nagbigay ng cheque, siya nagbibigay din dito ng awards sa Chiba Jets because he was a former CEO ng Chiba. So the Chiba Jets are very close to his heart.
So it's come full circle for this franchise in more ways than one.
Right. And this is the picture that we're going to be seeing splashed in all the dailies tomorrow, all across Japan. Your champion, the Chiba Jets!
There you go! So many guys stepping up for this squad in this series. Shutahara had his moments in Game 1. Ko Flippin, step up big guy. The 34-year-old Fumio Nishimura also stepping up big in certain moments. And of course, Gavin Edwards, Shannon Shorter, even Josh Duncan, even with his foul trouble, he stepped up too. And of course, the Joachim Noah, Sebastian Saiz, all contributing to this first ever title for the Chiba Jets.
Ganda rin ang ginawa ni Saiz. He had 12.7 rebounds and 1 assist. There's Coach Sushi Ono. Finally a winner. Finally a champion. Thirdy, sino sa tingin mo ang MVP?
I'd give it there you go.
Well, there you go.
Sebastian.
It's Joachim Noah. It's Sebastian Saiz.
Yeah. I mean, well deserved. He's picked up the team's slack from when they weren't performing, and he was rebounding and playing hard every single time. So it's a well-deserved award.
Kita mo talaga ito si Saiz, gentlemen, talagang hard worker.
Yeah.
Will not really put up exceptional numbers every night, but alam mo, lalaban at lalaban siya till the very end.
I think over 3 games, he's averaged about 13, 14 points, about a dozen rebounds, and he's been very consistent as well for this Chiba Jets team. Well-deserved Finals MVP for the Spanish big man.
Every team needs a hard worker. And Sebastian says, I think nobody works harder than that man. Now we have one final award from NISSAY.
I think Yuki Togashi got a citation or an award here, Anthony, right?
This is going to be the final award, as they call it.
I think this is the Finals MVP award, and the award before that was for the season.
Oh, wow.
I'm not so sure.
May bagong check pa.
Masarap yung tulog ni Yuki.
Oo, masarap tulog at bangon bukas ito si Yuki. And imagine, he'll probably, after this, he'll probably get to play in the Olympics. We'll get to play at the Asia Cup as well. It's going to be quite an interesting summer for Yuki Togashi.
Ayan, sigurado gentlemen, yung check na yan, kanya.
Naks. Sarap.
Yung malaking check kanina, hindi natin alam kung ibibigay talaga sana kung paghatian nila yan. Pero ito, tiyak, papasok sa bank account yan ni Yuki Togashi. And here we now have a word from Mr. Shimada.
感動しました。今、日本中が、いやもう本当に世界中が苦しい状況にある中で、ここに立っている千葉ジェッツの選手、そしてこちらにいますスタッフの皆様、本当に素晴らしい戦いを見せてくれました。
Una sa lahat, pinasalamatan niya lahat at sabi niya, we just witnessed a great finals.
悲願ですね。悲願のリーグ制覇、おめでとうございます。
Dinagdag pa niya, sabi niya, yung buong mundo talagang medyo nahihirapan sa sitwasyon natin dahil syempre dahil dito sa COVID-19 pandemic. Pero sabi niya, piro mo, ang Chiba at ang Brex ay nagpakita pa rin. At sabi niya, yung Chiba, matagal-tagal na lang inaantay itong titulo na to. Congratulations dahil pagkatapos ng 2 beses sila nabigo, nakakuha sila ng panalo ngayon.
この舞台までたどり着くことはできなかったと思います。本当にありがとうございました。
Pinasalamatan din niya yung mga fans na nanonood sa telebisyon, sa Facebook, sa YouTube, at syempre yung mga fans na pumunta sa mga iba't ibang mga arena.
お支えいただいたすべての皆様にこの場を借りて御礼を申し上げます。ありがとうございました。
Pinasalamatan din niya sila dahil syempre marami mga COVID-19 protocols dito at sumunod lahat ng mga fans. Well, we know the Japanese people are very disciplined.
それでも選手たちの変わらぬプレーを見て会場で応援してくださっているファンの皆様の姿を見て何が何でも今日のこの
Pinasalamatan din niya lahat ng mga partners, mga sponsors, at lahat ng mga tao na sumuporta sa kanila at sa lahat ng mga bumubuo ng B.LEAGUE.
正直今、ほっとしております。ようやくシーズンを終えることができました。ありがとうございました。
Such a good message to Anthony and Thirdy. I mean, just framing it in the context of COVID-19 and how the world is struggling, but these two teams are offering, you know, a model of resilience, of defiance against, you know, against this virus, this disease. So, such a great message from the B.LEAGUE in general.
Well, inaasahan natin, gentlemen, na itong model na ginawa ng B.LEAGUE, masusundan natin dito sa ating bansa. para makapagtuloy na rin yung ating local basketball. Now, I'm not just talking about the PBA, I'm talking about even college basketball para makabalik na UAAP, makabalik na yung NCAA. So the fans of the respective professional teams in the PBA, the fans of the respective schools can be able to start cheering for their squads.
That's true, Sir Anthony. You know, I mean, a lot of Filipino basketball fans are just really hungry to see their heroes on the court and in action as well. And when you see your idols playing the game that they love, it kind of gives you a sense of hope as well that you can get through, you know, whatever challenges you're facing in your own context.
Alam mo, si Thirdy, I think has to be, kailangan ata tawagan siya ng mga ating mga opisyalis dito sa Pilipinas because, you know, I think Thirdy, being there firsthand in Japan for this B.LEAGUE season can actually give us a lot of input on, you know, what the protocols were, ano yung ginawa ng mga players to be able to stay away from COVID-19 as much as possible. Kaya natuloy yung B.LEAGUE season.
Yeah, so I think they're very disciplined. Not just the players, but the fans as well. So I think it starts from that. Grabbing disiplina nila, and that's why they were able to maintain the fans in the season. Although there were a couple of, you know, challenges, but at the end they were able to pull through.
We're hoping, of course, this bodes well for the coming Tokyo Olympics dahil it was cancelled last year at pinagdadasal natin sana nga matuloy ngayon dahil napakarami na rin nating mga atleta nakapag-qualify para sa Olympics. It's gonna be really sad for them kung hindi matuloy yung Olympics, lahat ng mga pinaghandaan nila for the past 5 years leading up to Tokyo, mawawala.
I totally agree, Anthony. You know, I mean, the Olympics, it's going to be hard to actually run the Olympics in the context of COVID-19, but if Japan is able to do it again, that will send such a positive message to people around the world that, you know, life can go on with even with COVID-19 as long as we follow the rules, as long as we're disciplined. Life can go on and we can find ways to move forward.
That's true. You know, it's really a triumph of the spirit more than anything else. Para kung magkaroon ng Tokyo Olympics, papakita na talaga na nothing can stop us from doing what we want to be able to do. Ito ngayon si Shutahara was able to really contribute also here for his squad.
I remember he had a couple of good threes in that Game 1 win for Chiba. And he hasn't really exploded ever since then, but his presence on the floor, his presence defensively, those factored into this championship victory for the Jets.
本当にチームとしても2回決勝で負けてますし、個人としては本当前回の決勝で大事なところでパスミスをして本当に悔しい思いをしたので、
alam namin yung depensa ng Utsunomiya at Brex napakatindi. At alam natin na hindi madali manalo pero talaga nagpursige kami at nakakuha nga sila ng isang titulo sa gabing ito.
ジェッツブーさん最高です。
ありがとうございました。31番原選手でした。
Thirdy, have you been able to pick up the language somehow?
Sir Anthony, I've been studying pero ngayon nasa hiragana and katakana pa lang ako. Yung mga basic characters nila. Pero pagdating na yung mga mahirap na i-drawing na characters, medyo nalilito pa tayo dun, Sir Anthony. So, trying my best to study.
Pero doon sa pagkaintindi, I mean, have you been able to at least, you know, pick up a few words here and there?
Yes, sir, Anthony. I mean, just the basic words. Yung mga please, excuse me, or yung mga sinasabi nilang paisa-isa lang yung pagkaintindi ko dun sa words. Pero nalalagay mo siya in context with what they're saying. But I still have a lot to learn.
Don't worry, you're gonna have time. You signed a multi-year contract to go back to the B.LEAGUE. So, unti-unti, pag bumiyahe kami ni Enzo sa Japan, at least alam ko may interpreter na kami para sa amin.
Sana, di ba?
Sana. I'll try. Let's see.
やっぱ努力してきた結果がこの結果につながっていると思うので、
To si Yuki Togashi, sinasabi niya, natutuwa siya na finally, nanalo nga siya ng isang championship. Masakit daw talaga yung dalawang pagkatalo, pero syempre, ngayon hindi na niya inisip yun dahil ngayon ang inisip lang niya, naku, masarap ang kanyang tulog. Sabi niya, we tried hard from the very start, from practice pa lang, nag-umpisa. At ngayon, all of that hard work paying off.
Well, definitely well deserved for Yuki Togashi, and this will only bode well for his career trajectory and the future prospects of the Chiba Jets.
キャプテンの仕事っていうのはすごく大きかったかなと。はい。はい。
Ganda na sabi niya, sabi niya,
流星さんの背中をやっぱ代表で見て、それを学んでこのチームに持ってきて生かして、この勝利につながったかなと思います。
are all family.
That's really the important thing.
Yata sila magkarinigan ng konti, pero that gives us more time to be able to break down this match. Thirdy, sa tingin mo, what did it all boil down to? The Chiba Jets winning here in game number 3. Sa tingin mo, what did it all boil down to? Yung kapaganalo. Ano yung pinakamalaking factor?
皆さんと一緒に最後笑って終われるようにとこのシーズンやってきたので、それが叶って本当に良かったですし、そして来シーズンまたもう一回ここに戻ってきて連覇するチャンスが千葉ジェッツあるので、必ず戻ってきたいと思います。
Propel them to the lead and then eventually the finals. So for me, it was the desire of Chiba that brought them to the finals place.
We now have Coach Ono cutting down that net. Ikaw naman, Enzo, your thoughts on this big victory by Chiba. Alam mo, lahat ng mga fans, especially the experts, were saying lemado ang Utsunomiya Brex, pero nabigo yung kanilang prediction.
Well, I think it boiled down to what Thirdy said, desire, along with execution, especially in that pivotal fourth quarter. Remember that these teams were tied heading to the fourth quarter. Lamang pa in rebounding, actually, yung Brex by around 2 or 3 rebounds entering the fourth quarter, but by the end of the game, I mean, the Jets had, I think, 4 or 5 more rebounds already than the Brex. So that's a testament to what Thirdy was saying about desire being such a big factor in this game. And I felt like Chiba just executed a little bit better as well in the end game. And the Brex, they had their shot reached, really could not knock them down, especially when it counted the most. In the latter minutes of the game. And so that execution, that desire just really propelled Chiba to such a momentous victory, a monumental time in the history of this franchise, the first ever B.LEAGUE championship.
Ang sinasabi ni Fumio Nishimura sa kanyang interview, well, first and foremost, sabi niya, normally puro negative daw yung sinasabi niya pagkataas ng laro, pero sa araw na to, sabi niya ganoon, puro positive ang maririnig mo sa akin. At sabi daw niya, akala daw niya, siya daw dapat ang MVP ng first half. Because, well, actually, he really did play his heart out in that first half. And sabi niya, malaking factor din ng kanilang pagkapanalo, yung mga younger players nila unti-unti gumagaling na rin. So they finally won, and he thanks the fans for all that. Pero ito, first half MVP, Fumio Nishimura.
Pwede naman. I mean, I think he scored all his 5 points in that first half. And, when Togashi sat down with 2 fouls in the first half, I think Nishimura kind of stabilized the offense for the Jets. I'm not sure if I'm going to make him MVP of the first half, but he certainly played well enough in that first 20 minutes of this game.
Alam mo, dami mo pwedeng piliin ng mga MVPs kung tutusin mo dun sa first half. Dahil, as you mentioned, both of you were talking about the fact that there were 5 or 6 different players that hit a 3. Pagkatapos nun, pati yung mga rebounding was properly distributed. So, it's very hard to just pinpoint one particular player.
That's certainly true. And that balanced production, I think, was one of the things also that made Chiba such a dangerous team throughout the entire season. I think actually both of these teams, though, both of these teams had pretty balanced rosters in terms of production throughout the season that enabled both of them to get this far in the season.
Kumuha siya ng kapiraso para sa kanya yan, sigurado.
はい、放送席、千葉ジェッツ、
Here we
大
have the
野
winning
ヘッドコー
coach,
チにお越しいただきまし
Coach
た。
Atsushi
日
Ono.
本人初優勝、おめでとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
今どんなお気持ちですか？
本当長かった。はい。もうその一言につきますね。
いや、普段ちょっと厳しい表情をされている大野ヘッドコーチですけれども、今日はさすがに笑みがこぼれていましたね。
はい、本当に選手のね、笑顔を見るために1年間頑張ってきているのでね、彼らの笑顔を見て本当に幸せな気持ちです。
3度目の正直と言わんばかりの優勝でしたけれども、この数年大変だったんじゃないですか？
そうですね、本当になかなかここにたどり着けなくて、選手たちと苦しい思いしたんですけど、やっとたどり着けて、はい、幸せです。
涙も見えましたけれども、
はい
今選手たちにどんなお言葉かけたいですか？
いや、本当に1年間本当努力をし続けてくれた結果、
Anthony and Thirdy, what a story then for
このような結果
Coach Ono. If I remember, this guy actually played for the national team before. I'm not sure if it's in one of the Asian games or in the Jones Cup, but I remember him playing for the national team before, and eventually he finished his professional career, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 years ago, and to be able to see him win his first championship professionally, it's a good story as well for him. So many firsts for this championship run for Chiba. First title for the Jets, first title for Yuki Togashi, and of course, first title for their head coach as well.
And we're being told he's the first Japanese head coach to win a championship. So tama talaga,
Wow.
he has come a long way.
Wow.
Because there are a lot of course, foreign coaches that are also applying their trade here in the B-League. Pero unti-unti, yung sinasabi nating transfer of technology, napupunta na sa mga Hapon, and they're able to call the shots on their own. And ngayon, si Coach Atsushi Ono takes home the title.
And I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, the next year or so, I know that Julio Llamas is the head coach of the national team. He's done a very good job, and I wouldn't be surprised if Ono gets a chance to do that as well at some point in the future.
You know, talking about the national team, I'd like to be able to ask Thirdy first, and then I'm going to ask you, Enzo, sa tingin mo, sino dito sa dalawa na nasa final list para sa Japanese national squad ang dapat bigyan ng slot? Should it be Gavin Edwards, the newly minted champion of Chiba Jets, or do you give it to Ryan Rossiter, who does it all para sa Utsunomiya Brex?
Well, Sir Anthony, for me, I really think importante at malaki yung nabibigay ni Rossiter. Kasi nga, he just doesn't play as a big, but he brings down the ball as well. And I think underrated yung transition attacks ni Rossiter, especially when it comes to the international game. He's not really the fastest player, but the decisions he makes and with his length and size, he's just a factor, especially in those situations. So for that, I'd pick Rossiter over Edwards.
Ikaw naman, Enzo.
Well, you know, I'm tempted to go the other way. I'm tempted to say Gavin Edwards because of how he played in this series. But just like what Thirdy said, if you frame it in the international game and assuming that, you know, Japan gets their best lineup, like, you know, Yudai Baba and Rui Hachimura, Yuta Watanabe, assuming all those guys are available playing for the national team, honestly, I think Rossiter is a better fit for that you know, the skill set that all those, you know, world level talents bring to the table. The fact that Rossiter just seems more versatile on both ends of the floor. I know that he's maybe lost a step, but his court vision, his ability to shoot outside, his ability to bring down the ball, all those skills complement, you know, the skills that Hachimura, Watanabe, and Baba all bring to the national team. So I'd have to completely agree with Thirdy. You know, Rossiter, I think, just edges Gavin Edwards for that naturalized player spot for the Akatsuki 5, the national team of Japan.
Well, take your pick. Even if it was Edwards at pinili niya, hindi naman talaga sila, magkakalayo kung tutusin mo nga, gentlemen. And they're gonna really parade a strong squad for the Tokyo Olympics. And I'm looking forward to that because, when you have those two NBA players backing this team up, sky's the limit para sa kanila.
Yeah, and if they have their best possible lineup with Yuki starting at point, you have Yudai Baba, and then Watanabe at the wings, and at the front line you have Hachimura and Rossiter or Edwards. That for me can potentially, be the best team in FIBA Asia. Maybe even better than Australia, unless Australia brings all their NBA players as well, no? But there's only one Asian team that has beaten Australia actually in the past couple of years, and that's Japan, with Nick Fazekas, with Rui Hachimura. So hindi malayong mangyari that a full-strength Japanese national team could be the best team, in FIBA Asia.
Well, that's something that we can all dream for, gentlemen, because obviously we want to see our national team, Gilis Pilipinas, lumaban din dito sa mga bigs, big names Asian basketball. And slowly but surely we have young players, of course, like Thirdy, who we're with right now. We have Kai Soto. So, the future is also bright for Philippine basketball.
For sure. I mean, so many young players that fans are getting really hyped up about, no? I mean, for the qualifiers, I'm not sure if Kai's going to play. Thirdy, I'm not sure you'll be able to play, diba? But for the coming Asia Cup, I think all the slots are up for grabs, and maybe even AJ Edu, diba, can come back to the Philippines and play for the Asia Cup. We'll see if we have our own best lineup. Maybe if Jordan Clarkson's available for the World Cup in a couple of years' time, who knows, diba? The sky's the limit for our own squad as well.
Ikaw ba, Thirdy? Ang dami mo nagtatanong sa akin, willing ka pa rin ba makapaglaro para sa Gilas Pilipinas?
Definitely, Sir Anthony. I always believe that the highest form of basketball is when you play for your national team, kasi dun mo talaga mapapakita na hindi lang siya sport, kundi yung love mo for your country. So, for me, national team is always gonna be there. Never ako hindi maglalaro for the national team, especially under the right conditions.
And there, these have been perfect conditions para sa Chiba Jets as they finally break through at nakuha nila yung kanilang unang titulo sa B.LEAGUE. Dalawang beses lang nabigo, but not today. Today, they take home the championship. At ipapakita po namin sa inyo yung mga numero mamaya-maya dito sa ating laro. As we have the three-man panel there on your screens, you also have the three-man panel on the side of your screens. Anthony Stipo, kasama si Enzo Flojo and Thirdy Ravena. As we try to wrap up this ball game, we're going to be showing you the numbers para po makita ninyo at mahimay din natin yung mga numbers. But, just looking at the numbers right in front of me right now, turnover story. Pero mo, only 8 turnovers each. It was really both teams taking good care of the basketball.
Well, definitely. The discipline and the execution of both teams were actually at a very high level throughout this ballgame, as proven by what you just said, Anthony. Only a combined 16 turnovers in total for both teams. And that's something that, even at the professional level, you don't see very, very often. Which is why rebounding and outside shooting, those factors were pronounced even more. Because, possessions were really very, very important in this game. Kasi hindi masyado nagto-turnover bawat koponan.
Well, the shooting numbers, 30, were not as good for Utsunomiya Brex, and alam mo, inalat nga sila dun sa first half, and that really did them in because they couldn't really buy a basket from the outside early on.
Yun nga, Sir Anthony, medyo nahirapan din sila bumalik because of their struggle sa first half, especially si Makoto Hiyajima, where he was really struggling to find the shot, but eventually was able to shoot a couple of baskets, and he made a couple of tough shots. But at the start, yun nga, medyo they were lagging behind, kumbaga, nung start ng game. But na-pick up naman nila yung laro nila. They just fell short in the second half because Chiba really showed and really wanted that championship, and they were hustling every single play. So that's definitely a learning lesson for Utsunomiya.
You know, Enzo, when you take a look at the lineup from both these squads, you don't really need to tweak this lineup too much because syempre malakas pa rin itong dalawang kupunan, and these two teams can definitely make it back here to the big show next season.
Oh, for sure. Assuming that most or all of their imports are still going to come back, and I don't see any big reason why not. No, for the Jets, of course, they all want to defend their title. For the Brex, now they're the ones playing with a big chip on their own shoulders. So I'm sure every single one of those Utsunomiya players want another crack at the title next season. But yeah, both of these teams have shown throughout the season they're two of the finest squads in professional basketball in Japan. And by pushing this series to a Game 3, they showed the fans that this is what high quality, high level basketball is all about. And it really comes down to some breaks of the game in the most minute differences in terms of the shooting numbers, the rebounding, the assists, and the turnovers as well, as you see there on screen.
Alam mo, Thirdy, from your personal point of view, obviously everybody looking at the San and Neo Phoenix, para sa mga Filipino fans, ikaw ang kanilang sinusuportahan. You have a pretty decent team. Ang problema lang talaga, you just did not have a complete team from the very beginning. You came in late. At the same time, a lot of players coming in and out of injuries. But if you have even the same roster, kung tutusin mo, malakas din naman yung koponan eh.
Tama ka dyan, Sir Anthony. I really believe that our players can match up talent-wise to the other Japanese teams. And I really feel na yung Neo Phoenix can be one of those teams in the middle of the rankings. But yun yeah, there were a lot of challenges and injuries along the way. Number one being the imports and the coach being 4 months late in the season. But at the end, I mean, towards the end of the season, medyo maganda na rin nga yung nalaro namin. But it was it was a tad late having the record like that and, not being able to make it to the playoffs. But definitely a learning lesson for us as well.
But you do have the building blocks for success. Kasi kung tutusin mo, nandun na eh. Yung foundation, konting tweaks dito, tweaks dyan, para makapaging, you guys can be even more competitive in the future.
And I really believe na konting practice and bonding together as a team. Because I really feel na yung chemistry namin nandun. Even off the court, it just needs to translate dun nga sa sistema namin. Hopefully next season is going to be a better season for us. There's going to be a lot of changes, but we'll see how it goes.
Ikaw naman, Enzo, nakita mo, we've been following the playoffs, we followed the finals, we took care of the 3 games here sa B.LEAGUE Championship. Even the other teams are not that far behind. Chiba Jets and also, of course, Utsunomiya Brex.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's a very competitive league talking about the B.LEAGUE. And we were saying there's so many teams that are talent-wise, they match up well with each other. Aside from Utsunomiya and Chiba, and aside from Thirdy's own team, the Neo Phoenix, there's so many teams we can talk about in terms of these teams are championship caliber. We talk about the Kawasaki Brave Thunders, nandiyan yung Ryukyu Golden Kings, may Toyota Alvar ka pa as well. So it's a very stacked, very deep league talking about the B.LEAGUE, and I'm excited for next season as well. I think we also have I think 2 teams getting promoted from B2 to B1 for next season. Yeah. So it's more teams to talk about, more teams to cover, more competition is always going to be good. So I can't wait after the FIBA windows and after the Asia Cup. It's going to be a new season of the B.LEAGUE, and I think it's going to be even bigger. The market, I think, will expand a bit more. I think even more Filipino fans will come on board and watch. And I'm not sure if Thirdy has any inside info, but I wouldn't be surprised if Thirdy is not the only homegrown Filipino in the B.LEAGUE next season. I don't know. What do you think, Thirdy? Can you take us behind the curtain? I'm not sure, but what do you think?
I guess we'll have to find out.
That's a safe answer.
I love that answer, Thirdy. I love that answer.
The only way we'll find out, is if the team announces their full roster. And hopefully, and I really think that it's going to be sometime soon, so it's going to be big news.
Wow,
okay, gentlemen,
yeah.
thank you very much.
Sana.
Maraming salamat for joining us here, Thirdy. Enzo Flojo, of course, also with the call, together with yours truly, Anthony Suntay. Nagpapasalamat po kami sa inyo lahat for joining us here for the B-League season and of course here for game number 3 of the B-League Finals. Till next time, take care. Have a good night ahead, everybody. God bless.